No, I'm not hearing anybody in the truck right now. No.
The other thing I forgot to say, when we're going to a commercial break, they'll probably give a countdown. So when it seems like a natural change of possession, a punt or something like that, make sure if you are making a point, just to keep it real tight. Normally, we'll just toss it to the break and go there and then do a point when we come back or something. Okay. And like they said yesterday, any major turnover like an interception, fumble recovery, we won't go to a break. We'll just keep rolling. So. Okay. Sorry? I am not hearing anyone in the truck, no. I'm not hearing any IFB. Now I am. No, he kept asking me. Yeah. Okay.
From the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, NCAA Productions and KREM-TV present the NCAA Division I AA Championship Series, a quarterfinal game between the Eastern Washington Eagles and the University of Northern Iowa Panthers. Hello, everyone, from Cedar Falls, Iowa. I'm Todd Pickett, along with John Johnson. The Eagles 9-2, taking on Northern Iowa with a 10-1 record. Northern Iowa ranked 4th in the Division I AA polls. They had a bye last week in the playoffs, and John, a very tough team And a team that likes to run the ball on the ground quite a bit.
That's right, Todd. A very physical team. They're big up front on the line of scrimmage. They have an excellent running backs, two very fine running backs. One with the running tailback, Carl Boyd, has over 1,100 yards, and also the fullback has 808 yards.
Couple of fine quarterbacks as well for Eastern Washington. Quarterback Rick Warman has completed better than 56% of his passes, passed for nearly 3,200 yards and 26 touchdowns. For Northern Iowa, Mike Smith has completed better than 58% of his passes, nearly 2,400 yards, a couple of the top passers in Division I AA.
Yes, they're very similar in their statistics, but different in the type of quarterbacks they are. Rick Warman likes to drop back and throw the ball deep in the pocket, where Mike Smith's a scrambler type guy. He's going to do a lot of different things. He'll be tough to contain.
Some outstanding running backs. We touched briefly on Carl Boyd, the sophomore from Northern Iowa, who rushed for 1,020 yards and 14 touchdowns. Jamie Townsend of Eastern Washington rushed for 1,080 yards and 12 touchdowns. Those two guys also among the national leaders.
No question about it. Both sophomores are both about the same size. Both have the same type of running style. They're slashers. They're not going to beat on you, but they're going to find that hole and get through it.
And on defense, Rob Freeze, Mr. All-Around, really, for Eastern Washington, 68 tackles for the season. While for Northern Iowa, an outstanding safety in Joe Fuller, 71 tackles, 4 interceptions. He's a Division I AA All-American.
Yes, he's a fine safety. He plays the middle of the field fine. He goes to the ball, has great range, and also he supports the run with the 71 tackles. Robbie Freeze, what can you say? He's the inspirational leader on that defense. He gets the interceptions, makes a big play when it counts.
Eastern Washington coach Dick Zorns has really sized this game up as finesse versus strength more than anything else. He feels that his team will have to use finesse against the power of Northern Iowa University. The Eagles with a 9-2 record, Northern Iowa's Panthers 10-1. We're just about ready for kickoff from the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this. Northern Iowa's Panthers have won the coin flip, and they have elected to receive. The Panthers in their home uniforms of purple with gold and white trim. Eastern Washington in white with red trim. The Eagles will be kicking off from the goal to your right. Eastern Washington coach Dick Zorns in his 7th year at Cheney. They're on the sidelines getting set. 49-20-1 is Dick Zorns. The Eagles in their 2nd year of Division I AA competition. Northern Iowa University in its 4th year as a Division I AA school. The Panthers won the Gateway Conference title this year with a 5-0 conference record, but made the playoffs as an at-large team, not as a conference champion. As we mentioned at the top of our show, they are the 4th-ranked team in Division I AA. Eastern Washington ranked 11th coming into today's game. Eagles getting set to kick off. For Northern Iowa, back deep, Scott Owens, their top kick returner, who averages almost 22 yards a return. He's a flanker on offense, along with Anthony Price. Eagles going from our right to our left. Eric Stein will kick off for Eastern. A high but short kick. It'll be fielded by one of the up men. At the 17-yard line is Frank Ori, and he returns it out over the 30-yard line. Ori, the starting left guard, grabbing the opening kickoff, and it looks as though the Eagles may have a man shaken up. It's Eric Stein getting up slowly, but Northern Iowa will have the football. First down, 10 yards to go at the 33-yard line. There's Eric Stein being helped off the field. John, that could be a big loss to lose a kicker who handles the kickoffs and the placements on the opening play of the game.
Yeah, no question about that. The kicking game is going to be an important factor in this game today. It's going to be a hard-fought battle all the way through.
Northern Iowa split backs. This is Carl Boyd, who rushed for better than 1,000 yards. He'll be stopped by the left side of the Eastern defense. Leading the way for the Eagles, Mike Kingston, the left tackle, 6'4" junior from Yakima. Kingston playing with a bit of an injured knee. Boyd picks up 3 yards on the carry. 2nd and 7 for the Panthers at the 36. 3 men will go wide this time. John will talk about Northern Iowa's offensive set after this play. Mike Smith, the sophomore quarterback, give to Boyd once again. And he'll be stacked up for literally no gain. Kingston and Jim Furster, the defensive tackles, making the play that time for Eastern. John, we saw 3 men split that time. The Panthers like to do what's called flexing the tight end. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, what they do, instead of like most teams, a tight end on next to the tackle in the line of scrimmage, they split him out about 5 yards to get him away from the getting bumped at the line of scrimmage, to let him off the line easier so he can get in his pass pattern quicker.
They'll do that once again with Brian Baker, the sophomore tight end. That's Baker at the bottom of your screen now. 3rd down, and make it 7 yards to go for the Panthers. Smith has the tight end wide open. Baker over the middle. Brian Baker, 6'4" sophomore from Lovelia, Iowa, who averages better than 14 yards a reception. First down for the Panthers. John?
There you see Brian going down the middle of the field. It's simply just a post pattern. As you see, Russ Elliott gets hung up there. And the tight end, Brian, just ran right by him for the nice catch. If it would have been a pass out in front of him, he would have ran for the touchdown.
20 catches for Baker this season. He ran a nice little in cut and was wide open. First down for the Panthers at the Eastern 42-yard line. Smith with a quick pass and a nice grab by Sherrod Howard, the backup tight end, who is in the slot position to the left. Again, threw it a little bit behind him, and an outstanding grab by Howard. Russ Elliott on the stop for Eastern. Howard, a 6'3" freshman from Chicago, has 5 touchdowns, 30 receptions this year. He'll pick up first down yardage to the Eastern 29-yard line. That's a gain of 13.
It looks like they found a little bit of a hole in Eastern's defense. They're hitting the tight end quick right down the middle of the field.
Mike Smith passed for 2,357 yards this year. Pro set from the back, split wide this time. Smith rolling out again. He'll go for the end zone, has a man open in the corner. Good reaction, and the ball will be batted down. Eastern's defensive secondary reacting well. Garrick Redden, 5'10" junior from Kennewick, coming over to break that one up. Good pressure that time by the front line, John, and really Mike Smith threw that one up for grabs.
Yes, they did. Eastern got good pressure on it. It was a sprint out type play. To move the pocket to the outside, he just had to throw it out of bounds.
Talking with Dick Zorns yesterday, and much of what the Panthers will try to do is predicated on the old toss sweep. A lot of toss sweep action to the running back. They'll run the quarterback to that side, run some bootlegs as well. There you see Dick Zorns, 2nd and 10 for the Panthers at the 29. And again, they'll go back to the pass. Smith's wide receiver never turned to the ball, as it was nearly picked off by Darrell Hunter, left cornerback. The intended receiver for the Panthers was Scott Frankie, the junior split end, and Frankie never turned at all. Apparently a mix-up in communication that time. Eastern almost with the turnover.
Yeah, he was going to run deep down the middle of the field, and I think he expected the ball deeper, and the quarterback, Smith, threw the quick slant. He wasn't there. Darrell Hunter almost had a pickout.
3rd down 10 for the Panthers. See if they go to the tight end once again. Baker flexed right to the bottom of your screen. Wide receivers both directions, Frankie and Owens. Everyone out in the pattern, and it's Frankie with a nice catch at the 15-yard line. Garrick Redden on the stop for Eastern, but not before the Panthers pick up 14 yards and a first down.
Here you have a look at Frankie. He's going to run the post pattern up to the middle of the field, coming across. Ball was thrown high, and Garrick Redden really put a hit on him, as you can see right there. Just hit him hard.
Frankie shaken up has just now got to his feet with some assistance from the Northern Iowa training staff. That's that dangerous pattern, John. You're unprotected in the middle and the ball up high.
There's no question about it. It shows a lot of courage to make that catch going over the middle. The ball was high. He knew he was going to get hit. He had good concentration, hung onto the ball where a lot of receivers wouldn't have been able to hang on.
Scott Frankie, 5'11", 173-pound junior from Streamwood, Illinois. 39 catches, averaging better than 15 yards a reception this season for the Northern Iowa Panthers. He had 4 touchdown catches as well. 1st and 10 for Northern Iowa, just inside the 15-yard line. Ball just to the left of center in the field, inside the left hash mark. Split backs again and 3 wideouts for the Panthers. This will be Errol Peebles with his first carry of the ball game. Peebles, a 5'8", 221-pound freshman. That's a real bowling ball there, John,
Yeah.
from Chicago.
He's basically used in the trap plays and on leading Boyd in the sweep situation. He's a smaller type guy, and he's good at on the blocks on the corners.
A look at Scott Frankie again being attended to by the Northern Iowa staff on the sidelines. Getting a little reaction from here, and we'll try and keep you posted on his status. 2nd down 8 for the Panthers. Make it Peebles, who'll get inside the 10-yard line. Jim Furster leading the tacklers for Eastern, assisted by middle linebacker Chris Seidel. They'll mark the ball just inside the 10, so 3rd and 5 for Northern Iowa. Eagles will bring Bentley Williams in at a cornerback position and bring out John Eddy, the weak side linebacker. Extra back for the Eagles on 3rd and 5. Panthers will send flanker Scott Owens to the left, the tight end Sherrod Howard in the flex position left, and the other split end Anthony Price to the right. 3rd and 5. Little mistiming in that one, and Smith just kind of tosses the ball back to the umpire. And referee Jim Corbin will make the first call. Delay of game against Northern Iowa. John, an interesting point here. There is no 25-second clock in this building. The referees are going to have to keep time, and that's a little bit of a difference for the Eagles.
Yeah, there was a little discussion last night in the coaches and referees meeting, because most places you play, especially in the domes, have the 25-second clock to look the quarterback and see it when he's at the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, he's got to just guess and say when the 25 seconds might be up.
So Jim Corbin, our referee, will be keeping time behind the quarterback. The officials from the Missouri Valley Conference. 3rd down 10 now for the Panthers. Smith is being intercepted and dropped. Nearly picked off by Kevin O'Connor. Backup free safety, the sophomore from Tacoma, who has 2 interceptions this season, played it perfectly, stepped into the lane nicely, but couldn't hang on.
Kevin O'Connor would have been off to the races for a touchdown. He slid underneath the out pattern. The quarterback, Smith, didn't see him, and he threw it right to him. Kind of surprised him. I think he would have caught that one.
That'll bring on Kevin Moat to attempt a field goal. His first attempt of the season. Moat, a 5'10 sophomore from Robbins, Iowa, has come on for Mike Angel, the other kicker, later in the season. This will be an attempt of 32 yards, and it is good. So the Panther drive stalls. They'll settle for 3 points. Eastern with a couple of chances at a turnover, but Northern Iowa is first on the board. 10 minutes, 36 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and the Panthers take a 3-0 lead. You see some of the Northern Iowa fans here at the Unidome. Beautiful facility, a capacity of 16,400. Air-supported roof, much like the Silverdome and the Metrodome in Detroit and Minneapolis, respectively. And John, there we take a look a bit at the roof. What a great facility to walk into and have for practice and game competition.
Oh, there's no question about it. It's big. It's bigger than most than the domes around the Spokane area, than the Mini Dome and the Kibbe Dome. It's a lot more roomier. The seats are all individual seats. The lighting's excellent because it's semi-transparent, so you get the natural lighting. You don't have artificial lighting, and that's so much easier for the receivers and the quarterbacks to see downfield.
Kevin Moat will get set to kick off. As we mentioned, Moat was not the starting kicker at the start of the season for the Panthers, as Mike Angel was doing that, a freshman from Mason City. But Mike was only 15 of 22 in the field goal department, so they went with Kevin Moat, and he's taken over the kicking duties.
Say that last play, it was 10 plays, 53 yards, 4:24 on the clock. Moat kicked a 32-yard field goal to cap it off.
Moat set to kick off. Eagles with Craig Richardson back deep. Richardson, of course, set a Division I AA record for kick returns last year. The Panthers will try to kick away from him, and Moat promptly kicks it out of bounds. Richardson is back deep in a 3-return set, actually, with Tim Floyd and Joe Niffen about 3-4 yards in front of him. Craig this year is averaging 26 yards a kick return on 23 receptions. His longest of the year, 81 yards. Panthers on the scoreboard first. Just about 4.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Interesting note we'll talk about a little bit as the game goes along. The reason we haven't shown you Northern Iowa's coach is because he's not on the sidelines. Head coach Daryl Mudra of the Panthers coaches and calls his plays from the press box.
Yeah, he feels that he can see the field better. A lot of coaches talk about if they could only be up on top, but they like to be with the kids on the sidelines. Tommy Prothro of the Rams used to coach up in the box also.
Well, here's one coach who's not talking about it. He's doing it. Daryl Mudra, 24 years of collegiate coaching. Another deep kick. Richardson up shallow, has to race back, grab it at the 2-yard line. Good hole for him up the middle, and he'll take it out over the 25-yard line before he's tricked up by Mike Colpin, reserve linebacker for Northern Iowa, a freshman from Tama, Iowa. And Eastern Washington with good field position to start its drive. Eagles will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Rick Warman to lead the attack. Warman passing for 3,196 yards, 26 touchdowns, completed better than 56% of his passes. The number 5 ranked quarterback nationally in Division I AA total offense. Eagles will start with 3 men wide and Jamie Townsend single back in the backfield. That's Niffen in motion. Ball dropped over the middle. Pass was intended for the tight end Eric Riley, the junior from North Bend, Washington. Moses Amable leading the coverage for Northern Iowa. John, what do you think Dick Zorns would like to do so far as play calling on this opening drive? What will the Eagles be looking to do?
Well, I think they're going to first fill out their defense, find out what kind of adjustments they're going to make with the different multiple sets that Eastern has. He's going to feel them out a little bit, but as first play, he threw the ball. He knows he's going to have to throw the ball.
Niffen in the slot, 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Screen for Townsend. Nice move by Jamie Townsend to elude 3 tacklers, gets all the way out to the 40-yard line. Moses Amable, the right cornerback for Northern Iowa, on the tackle, the senior from Fort Riley, Kansas. Really not so much a screen as sort of a checkoff to a safety valve receiver, and Jamie Townsend did a lot of the work on that one.
Yeah, it was just a delay pattern. He stopped, and Rick looked downfield, didn't find his receiver, so he just dumped it off to the back. He did a good job of outrunning the defenders of Northern Iowa. I didn't think he would get that many yards, but he's that quick burst speed that he's got.
Gain of 13 for Townsend. 1st and 10 at the Eastern 40-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left. Ed Grimes will lead the Northern Iowa tacklers on Joe Niffen, the fullback who made the carry. Niffen, 6-foot senior from Sumner, Washington, averaging 5 yards a carry this season. He gets 3. Dwayne Price, the left tackle, also in on the tackle for Northern Iowa. 2nd and 7 at the 43. Niffen, the up back. Townsend, the tailback in the I formation this time. Warman will be dropped by Jeff Beals. John, that was something Dick Zorns mentioned. He didn't feel that Warman would have time to stand in the pocket. Had to get the passes unloaded or float the pocket a bit today.
Rick Warman on that particular play, it was a check off at the line of scrimmage. He saw the corners in a type of defense where he thought he could throw on. He wanted to get the quick slant to John Villa. He was held up at the line of scrimmage. He had no place to go. The quick drop, you know, you only want to take one step back and throw it. He just didn't have a receiver open. It was good defense by the Panthers.
Once that pattern didn't develop, Warman was sacked all the way back to the 36. Nickel defense for Northern Iowa on 3rd and long. Warman under pressure will be grabbed from behind by Jeff Beals once again. The sophomore from Orland Park, Illinois. Good pressure by Northern Iowa, and the Panthers hold Eastern on its first possession. John, let's take another look at that pressure.
They're big and they're physical, and they just pin their ears back and come back. They're having a hard time. Eastern up at the top of the screen. Mr. Beals spinning, makes a nice little move, and knocks Rick down, gets him at his heels.
Eric Stein, the original punter. It's Warman handling the punts, and Stein was shaken up.
Good coverage by Eastern as they give up only about 4 yards on the punt return. Scott Owens returning the punt for the Panthers. We have a timeout with 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Northern Iowa 3, Eastern Washington nothing.
As far as
Sometime. The Panthers have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. Midway through the first quarter, Northern Iowa's defense has held Eastern on its initial possession. In fact, good job by the Panthers with a pair of quarterback sacks of Rick Warman. Three wide again for Northern Iowa on 1st and 10. Panthers threw the ball a lot on their first possession. This time they'll run the trap to Errol Peebles. Rob Freeze leading the tacklers for Eastern. Big roar from the Northern Iowa student body on this side of the field as Errol Peebles picks up 4 yards. 2nd and 6 for the Panthers. John, so far it looks as though the Eagles pretty much staying with their 4-3 basic defense, except in that one long passing situation.
Yeah, they feel that they're going to run on them, and if they pass, they'll make adjustments with the extra back.
Wide split this time by the backs, and a great play from behind. Making the grab, Joe Kane clear across from his left end position, actually in pursuit that time, brought Errol Peebles down from behind and dropped him for a loss to the 27-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 8 for Northern Iowa. Nice play by Joe Kane.
Yes, it was. It was a slow developing play, and he just ran right behind the guard, and from his defensive end position, caught him from behind. This is some little trickery here.
Single back is Boyd on 3rd and 8. Eagles get back there. 3-man front for Eastern, and they'll try and run a draw up the middle to Boyd. He'll be stopped short of 1st down yardage. Joe Kane on the tackle, assisted by John Eddy, the weak side linebacker.
That's interesting. They haven't showed the 4-receiver type offense or one-back offense. They show it here and run the ball, a lot like Idaho does.
4th down for the Panthers, and Clay Natuso will come in to punt for Northern Iowa. Eagles with Rob Freeze and Kevin LaRue back deep. Nice punt by Natuso. It'll be Freeze all the way back at the 13-yard line. Can't get loose in the seam. A flag on the play as well. Looks as though the Eagles might have held on the return. For Northern Iowa, Mike Colpin leading the tacklers on the special teams duty. Good punt coverage by the Panthers. And the Eagles might be pinned back a little bit deeper with this penalty.
Yeah, I think John Eddy got a piece of a guy in the back. He didn't quite have the position on him. You got to keep him. You got to hit him on the numbers in front. You can't hit him from the side or behind, and that's exactly what he did on that last play.
Dick Zorn's trying to ask one of the officials about the penalty flag as the Eagles are called for the illegal block. We mentioned our officials from the Missouri Valley Conference. Jim Corbin, our referee. Dave Daggy, the umpire. John Van Wy, the line judge. Tim Brown, the field judge. Back judge is Keith Frazier, and the linesman Dave Carnegie. Eagles assessed for the illegal downfield block. 1st and 10 at the 8-yard line. Eagles will have the ball when we come back, trailing 3-0.
Back live at the Unidome, the Eagles with a bit of a challenge now against a tough Northern Iowa defense. First down for the Eagles deep in their own territory. Townsend, the single setback. He'll get the ball from Warman and gain a little bit of yardage out over the 10-yard line. Dwayne Price leading the way along with Edward Grimes for Northern Iowa. We'll call it a gain of 3, 2nd and 7 at the 11. Look there at the Eastern huddle as Joe Niffen checks back in along with Craig Richardson for the Eagles. Richardson and John Villa will come wide to the bottom of your screen to the left side. Villa in motion. This is Richardson, can't get to the ball, a little bit too high for him. Moses Amable, the right cornerback, on coverage for Northern Iowa, but John, that was first down yardage if the ball had been just a touch lower.
Yeah, you don't see Rick Warman do that. He's usually very, very accurate. He got a little bit of pressure, but that's a long throw across the field. I'm sure he was conscious of someone stepping up to pick it off this deep in North Iowa's territory.
So far, the defensive backfield's really given those wide receivers a bit of cushion.
They're giving them some cushion, and I'm surprised that the receivers haven't walked off more. Run those short little patterns where they just walk off 6 or 8 steps and then wait for the ball.
Kevin LaRue will come wide to the left with Villa in the slot on 3rd and 7. Warman rolling out to avoid the pressure. Finally dumping it off, and it's batted down by Henry Saxon, the right outside linebacker. Saxon, a 5'11 senior from Burton, South Carolina, has 3 interceptions this season, 2 of them for touchdowns, including an 81-yarder. So a fairly quick guy out there at the linebacker position, got a hand up in the way, and the Eagles will be forced to punt. Again, Warman will handle the punting with Eric Stein shaken up on the bench. He'll have to punt from out of his own end zone. Nice kick this time by Warman. It'll be Scott Owens taking it at the 49 of Northern Iowa, and he'll go out of bounds at the eastern 41-yard line. The Panthers will have the ball in Eagle territory. 5:08 left in the first quarter. Northern Iowa with a 3-0 lead. Back live in Cedar Falls, Iowa. A reminder, this telecast is a copyrighted presentation of NCAA Productions with exclusive rights granted to KREM-TV. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written permission of NCAA Productions or KREM-TV is prohibited. The announcers on this telecast are compensated by KREM-TV. Panthers with a quick pass to Carl Boyd coming out of the backfield. He'll be stopped just short of first down yardage. Brad Faker, the Eagles' strong side linebacker, on the stop. Ball marked at the 32-yard line, a gain of 9. John will take another look at the pass to Carl Boyd.
Yeah, he just slips out on the left side, and they just toss it right off the line of scrimmage, straight up the tube, and he got a nice little 9-yard gain out of it. 2nd and 1 now as the Panthers spread out with 4 wide receivers again. Boyd, the single tailback, and he'll get the ball and be met right in the middle by middle linebacker Chris Seidel, the 6'1 senior from Cedro Woolley. 103 tackles this season for Seidel. And a nice play that time. Beat his man and met Boyd head up, John. Chris Seidel just walked. He saw who had the ball. He just plucked up the whole picture-perfect form tackle, just went head-to-head to knock him back. That was a great defensive play there.
A little bit of a loss for Boyd. Ball marked just inside the 33, where it's 3rd and will make it 2 for the Panthers. Boyd will be met very close to first down yardage. They may have to bring the chains out for this one. Mike Kingston on the stop along with Frank Stoudenrouse for the Eagles. And it's a first down. Jim Corbin, says enough for the first down for Boyd. Let's take another look at the Eagle defense here.
They have the people sliding through. They only had about a yard to go. The line man blocked straight downfield, and they just a straight dive handoff.
It was close, but Boyd had it by probably a foot. 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Smith will roll out, looking deep. Good coverage by Rob Freeze, and he'll throw the ball away. Rob Freeze, man coverage that time, got Frankie the split end. He was trying to find Frankie deep towards the sideline. Meanwhile, while they were trying to find Frankie, here's another quick look at the open receivers this time. You see running the deep seam. Of course, he's away from the quarterback. That's Luis Gonzalez, who was signaling for the ball over the middle, and Smith never saw him. Smith rolling out to the right side. Gonzalez was split to the left on that play. Gonzalez is down at the bottom of your screen, wide right. Again, 4 receivers for the Panthers, and Boyd will carry the ball. Slides outside to pick up some yardage before he's brought down by Brad Faker. Chris Seidel also in on the stop, along with Garrick Redden. John, interesting, every time so far the Panthers have shown that 4 wide receiver set, it goes to Boyd.
Yeah, it does. What they're trying to do, what that does is when you put 4 wide receivers, it stretches out the defense. It makes you man up to be conscious of those outside receivers. The linebackers are conscious of the path, and then they run the dive or trap play right up the middle.
Back to the split backs again with Boyd and Peebles. 3rd and 5 at the 25. Smith checks at the line of scrimmage. We'll go to the tight end once again, and the catch by Brian Baker. Coverage by Brad Faker, who brings him down at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers there, a gain of 11 yards.
On that particular play, they just ran the tight end crossing pattern along the middle. Brad Faker was not able to stay with them, and that big old frame of Baker, he was able to block Baker from getting the ball on the toss.
2nd catch of the game for Baker. 1st down for Northern Iowa. Peebles stacked up nicely by the eastern line. They really strung that play along well. Frank Stoudenrouse in on the stop along with Brad Faker. Chris Seidel also over there on coverage, and good job by the defensive line, John, of just stringing that along until the assistance came from the linebackers.
Yeah, they did. Frank Stoudenrouse playing the defensive end position, took on the blocker and was able to hold him up. The running back had to wait a little bit, and they just strung it out, and there was no place to go, and then help came from the inside.
Look there at the Eagles' front 4 on defense. 2nd and 9, a 1-yard gain for Peebles. Smith again rolling out. Looks for Baker's tight end wide open over the middle. Baker had about 6 yards that time on Brad Faker, and the Panthers are on the scoreboard once again. 13-yard touchdown pass to Brian Baker, 6'4" sophomore from Lovelia, Iowa. His 2nd touchdown of the season.
On that particular play, the quarterback Smith rolled out to his right, looking for a back coming into the flat, looking for a receiver going across the middle. The backside tight end snuck right down the seam on the deep post pattern for the touchdown.
Kevin Moat 6 for 6 and point afters will attempt. Kevin Willard, backup quarterback, is the holder, and he's 7 for 7. The kick is perfect. 1:48 in the first quarter. Northern Iowa 10, Eastern Washington nothing. We'll be back from Cedar Falls in just a minute. Back at the Unidome, where it's a bit of an early Christmas so far for the fans in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Their home team, the Panthers, leading Eastern Washington by a score of 10-0. That touchdown drive of 8 plays, 41 yards. Smith now 6 of 10 for 83 yards. Baker with 3 catches. Craig Richardson will take Kevin Mote's kickoff at the 5-yard line and be dropped at the 13. Nice play downfield by Ken Morrison, reserve linebacker for Northern Iowa. John, let's go back to that touchdown catch briefly. And as you mentioned, a bit of a mix-up in the Eastern secondary on that play.
No question about it. The quarterback, Smith, rolled to the right. He had receivers in the flats. They snuck the backside tight end down the seam, and the safety didn't adjust, and the linebacker was playing underneath, so there was no one there.
As we've mentioned that he had yardage on Eastern's linebacker, Brad Faker, but that's because Faker had released him and let him go into the deep zone. It wasn't his responsibility any longer. Rick Warman with eye backfield on 1st and 10 will throw and complete to John Villa. Joe Fuller, the All-American safety for the Panthers, will make the tackle, and we'll take another look at John Villa in action. John?
Rick Warman checks off at the line of scrimmage, throws the quick out. They're giving him a lot of room, so they're going to take that out pattern. John Villa makes a catch, turns it up. Nice play for a 5-yard, 6-yard gain.
You mentioned check off. Rick Warman will make a lot of audibles during this game.
He has that option, and depending on the defense, he'll check out off at any time.
Jamie Townsend, big hole up the middle, finally met by cornerback Tim Moses in the Northern Iowa secondary. Eagles will pick up 1st down. Nice blocking by the left side of the Eastern Washington line for Jamie Townsend.
Yeah, they did a good job on that play. The Eastern ran the ice trap where they lead with the fullback, give it to the tailback into the middle. The offensive line is a little bit patched together with injuries, but they've done a pretty good job so far.
Across the front for the Eagles, Jeff Mickle, Trev Ferris, Russ Goodnow, Tim Murphy, and Ed Kaharski starting today. 1st and 10 at the 30. Right through the hands that time of Kevin LaRue. It was a bullet. All of Rick's passes, really, though, have been pretty catchable. Maybe that one exception, the high pass for Richardson. That one had a lot of zip on it.
Kevin LaRue is upset with himself. There's no question. He has probably as good a hand as anybody on the team. He's a clutch type receiver. Always makes the big grabs. I know he wish he had that one back.
Should mention Kevin LaRue banged his knee during practice in the Eastern Fieldhouse Thursday. Came out and ran before the game today and looks fine. Is at full mobility, full speed. Townsend on the draw. Will pick up 1st down yardage. Good effort by Jamie Townsend. He was met by the initial group of tacklers and bowled them over for extra yardage. Joe Fuller and Dave McCorvey on the stop. So the Panthers playing that nickel defense that time, and a good call. The draw picks up 12 yards and a 1st down.
Jamie Townsend is so good at that play. He runs it very well. He gets the ball into the line of scrimmage, and he has such quick sliding moves. They think they've got him, and yet he slides out the other end of the tackler. He's amazing. He's had a good game thus far.
Ball at the 42-yard line. Eagles in the I formation once again. Warman bobbles the ball. Nice job as he gets a kind hop. And unable to hang on, tight end Mark Gehring. Tim Moses on the coverage for Northern Iowa, along with Moses Amable. John, the breaks were kind that time to Rick Warman.
There you have Rick Warman dropped the ball at the line of scrimmage, picked it up, was able to gain his composure, sprints out to his left side, simply takes the ball, and he just lofts it downfield to Mark Gehring, who actually had a chance at the ball, mistimed the jump just a little bit, and couldn't quite hang on to it.
Rick Warman, 6'2", 200-pound senior from Saratoga, California. Eastern's career passing leader in just 2 years at Cheney. Looks again for Kevin LaRue, and this time LaRue will make the catch. The Eagles are in Northern Iowa territory for the first time in this game.
That time, Todd, they came on the blitz. They came with those outside linebackers, which they call rover backs in the split 6 defense, and they threw the out pattern man-for-man coverage.
Eagles move into Northern Iowa as we end the first quarter with the score: the Panthers of Northern Iowa 10, the Eastern Washington Eagles nothing. Dome, start of the second quarter. Eastern Washington on the move now, trailing Northern Iowa by a 10-0 margin. Eagles have the ball at the NIU 48-yard line. First down there, and John, after a slow start, Eastern with a good offensive series so far.
Yeah, they're running the ball well. They're passing it well. They're mixing it up. They're doing what they do best, and that's controlled passing with the quick stuff, quick dive plays and traps inside.
Niffen the up back, Townsend the deep back, Villa in motion. Jamie Townsend off the left side. Mark Farley will make the tackle. Farley, the second leading tackler for the Panthers this year, with 73 tackles. Townsend will gain yardage to the 46, and now the Eagles will go without a huddle. Northern Iowa reacting quickly to it. This is something Dick Zorns had planned, John. Warman will drop back. And a fine strike that time. Great catch with receivers, or rather defenders, all around him. It's Craig Richardson on the reception. Moses Amable making the tackle. John, Dick Zorns had talked about making a planned switch to a no-huddle offense.
Yes, he did. He wants to try to catch them off guard. They're an excellent defensive team. They're quick, they're physical, they're big. They play the pass and the run very well. He knew he's going to have to do some different things to mix it up again, try to get him off balance to maybe catch him sleeping.
Eagles go to the huddle this time. Again, they're going to do it sporadically based on what they see defensively from Northern Iowa. Niffen carries on the first down play, short yardage, as Mark Farley and Mike Campbell make the tackle for Northern Iowa. Gain of a yard for Eastern. John, you touched briefly on the Northern Iowa defense with a front six. They play defense that some younger football fans might not have seen. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a split six type defense where you have two outside guys that are the speed of defensive backs but hit by linebackers. They call rover backs. They got to play the run and play the pass, and they have two linebackers, which makes it awful tough to run inside.
They love to blitz as well, bring up to 6 guys. Swing pass for Niffen, has room. He'll pick up a first down. Good downfield blocking as well by John Villa. And Niffen will get inside the 20-yard line before Spencer Cowan brings him down, the left outside linebacker, along with cornerback Moses Amable. They'll spot it at the 19-yard line. Again, a bit of a safety valve, just a little swing pass that time and plenty of room, John.
You know, those are good plays when a team's going to blitz you defensively. That time, Northern Iowa did blitz. Rick Warman picked it up, tossed it off for a nice little gain.
Niffen, the single running back on first down. Warman again will check off at the line of scrimmage. The Eagles adjust. Looking for his tight end. And the ball is intercepted. Where? In the end zone. Somehow the ball bounced clear back in the end zone. It was intended for Eric Riley at about the 5-yard line, and everybody turned around, tried to find the ball, and Tim Moses came up with it in the end zone for the touchback.
You know, I didn't see the ball. I don't know if it popped out of his hands or what. I didn't see it. Maybe we got it on replay. Rick Warman tossed the ball down to Rick Riley, who just released off the line of scrimmage, put a little bit too much air, didn't fool the Northern Iowa defense, and therefore was picked off.
Panthers had pretty good coverage that time, but it looked as though the ball would be close to being caught, and all of a sudden the defensive backs turned around, Riley turned around, and there was Tim Moses with the ball in the end zone for the touchback. He kind of celebrated for a while, then finally remembered he needed to touch down one knee for the touchback. First and 10 at the 20. Smith will roll out and find Brian Baker once again. He'll be dogged down by Rob Freeze, but not before he picks up 19 yards and a first down.
That was what Coach Dick Zorns was concerned about, the running ability of Mike Smith. He rolled out on that time, let the play develop, ran the tight end across on an arrow pattern across the middle for a nice gain behind the linebackers in front of the safeties.
Panthers had 109 yards of total offense in the first quarter. They're on the move again at the 39-yard line. Peebles. Good cutback by Errol Peebles, finding a seam before he's finally tripped up by Darrell Hunter. Again, the beauty of that sweep, John, you can just kind of find a little seam, cut back, and pop through as they string the play along. We'll take another look.
Here, have a look at Mark Peebles taking the ball on the sweep play. It's a counter-type sweep. Pull both guards, and he just stays right behind those big linemen, waiting for a place to slide into. As you can see, he makes a nice cutback for a good gain.
Gain of 13, the ball at the Eastern 45-yard line, just inside the 45. Peebles again to the opposite side. Cutting back and is dropped by Jim Furster, along with help from John Eddy.
But another good gain down to the 38, a gain of 7. Big front line for Northern Iowa. Across the front, they go 6'6", 292, 6'3", 220, 6'1", 255, 6'2", 245, and 6'3", 288. That's a nice group to run behind. And Peebles will get the ball for the third straight play. He'll dive for the first down. Tripped up by Frank Stoutenraus. Chris Seidel also there, but the Panthers have triggered another first down. They're at the 32-yard line.
Here we have a look at the inside trap to Peebles. Just a straight dive trap play, slides right in the middle behind those big linemen, finds a hole and slides through.
Frank Ori leading the way there on the trap block, along with help from the right guard, Mark Caballero. First down at the 33-yard line. And if it works, keep going until it doesn't. This time they'll stack it up a little bit better. Brad Faker leading the Eastern defense on the play, along with help from Joe Kane. Gain of 2 on the play for Peebles, and now some substitutions for the Panthers. Peebles will check out along with Baker. And John Hill, the backup fullback, in the lineup now for Northern Iowa. There's a look at sophomore quarterback Mike Smith. Pass for over 2,300 yards this season. 2nd and 8. Good play that time as John Eddy broke up the pass intended for Scott Frankie, the split end. Eddy from his weak side linebacker position, 6'2" junior from Gig Harbor. We'll take another look at the pass for Frankie.
They see Scott Frankie going down. He's going to do a crossing pattern across. You see John Eddy behind, reading the quarterback and running right with him to break up the pass. It was a good play by John Eddy at the weak side linebacker position.
Just a touch behind Frankie as well. 3rd and 8 for the Panthers. Frankie will come split to the left side. Twin backs in the backfield. Baker in the slot again, the flex position from the tight end, and it's Boyd, the ball carrier. He'll be stopped short of the first down. Frank Stoutenraus on the tackle for Eastern, along with Mike Kingston and Jim Furster.
Here we look at the sweep play again to Carl Boyd. He just follows his big lineman to slide up inside. Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down.
4th and 2. You see the Panther student body urging the team to go for it. Now Mike Smith says, thanks for the enthusiasm, but keep it down so I can call signals. 4th and 2 at the 24. Good pressure by the Eagles, but Smith dodges tacklers to get the first down. Mike Kingston made the stop, but not before Mike Smith picks up first down yardage. Chris Seidel also on the tackle. John, really just an option for him to tuck it anywhere, and he just avoided the pressure.
That time it was great athletic ability by Mike Smith. He was caught actually back at the 30-yard line, eluded a tackle there, eluded another tackle by Brad Faker, and slid it up for the first down. Great effort by Mike Smith.
Yes, he's from Crawfordville, Florida, but an old-time family friend of head coach Daryl Mudra. That's how he wound up at the University of Northern Iowa. First down for the Panthers at the 20-yard line. And it's Peebles again. Be pulled down from behind that time. Frank Stoutenraus and John Eddy making the stop for the Eagles. A little more than 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter, with Northern Iowa enjoying a 10-0 lead over Eastern Washington. Eagles had one drive deep in Northern Iowa territory. It was stalled by an interception in the end zone. Again, Smith asking his home fans for quiet. Peebles breaks one tackle into the secondary. And Garrick Redden just kind of wrapped around one leg and held on until help showed up. Brad Faker and Mike Kingston assisted, but a fine effort by Errol Peebles broke that initial tackle at the line of scrimmage and took it down to the 10-yard line. It'll be close to a first down, John.
He's one of those guys. He's not very tall, but he's packed, really well packed, a strong kid. He's only 5'8", but he's 225 pounds. Awfully hard to get a hold of him. When he gets that head of steam going, you got to be a good tackler to bring him down.
Very quick feet, too, for Errol Peebles. You know, he cuts back very well. Peebles with 10 carries now for 42 yards for the Panthers, and the ball spotted just short of the first down. It's just outside the 10-yard line for the Panthers. There a look again at our referee, Jim Corbin. So 3rd and inches. And the Panthers would be able to pick up a first down outside of the 10-yard line. It's really a matter of inches right now. But they would be able to get another first down prior to the goal line if they needed to. Boyd will get the call and pick up a first down. 1st and goal now for the Panthers. Jim Furster on the stop for Eastern Washington. John Eddy and Mike Kingston assisted, along with Brad Faker, but it's 1st and goal for Northern Iowa at the 7. John, that power we talked about at the top of the show becoming evident right now for the Panthers.
It's got to be starting to take its toll. It's not cool in here, even though it's cold outside. In here, it's awfully warm to try to melt the snow from the roof. The defensive players have been on the field an awfully long time, and they've got to be getting tired.
Good ball control drive for the Panthers. 1st and goal for Northern Iowa. Boyd will carry the ball, gets help, and a great block from Frank Orey to take it into the end zone. Frank Orey took care of 2 Eastern defenders that time, the 6'3" senior guard, and Boyd went into the end zone untouched for the 7-yard touchdown.
I'm really impressed with this offensive line of Northern Iowa. I haven't seen one so physical, yet they're quicker than I thought. They're big, but they can move. They're really good at pulling in front of those big backs. We take a look at it there. There's a sweep to Boyd. He just runs outside. The tackle, the pulling guard on the outside took care of 2 defenders from Eastern, and he just walked it into the end zone.
Orey did a fine job pinning both men in that time. Kevin Mote on to attempt the point after. Kevin Willard, the holder. And Mote is perfect once again. 7 minutes, 46 seconds left to play here in the 2nd quarter. The Northern Iowa Panthers lead the Eagles of Eastern Washington 17-0. The Panthers 17, the Eagles nothing here in the 2nd quarter. A 12-play, 80-yard drive. 189 yards of total offense now for Northern Iowa as opposed to 76 for Eastern Washington. Eagles' Tim Floyd will return the kickoff of Kevin Mote. Puts his shoulder down and takes it out close to the 30-yard line before he's brought down by Todd Canny. Daniel Robinson also in on the tackle for the Panthers. This is Northern Iowa's first game in 3 weeks. They finished the season a week early, had a bye in the first round of the playoffs, but John, so far that idle time doesn't seem to have bothered them at all.
No, they're running on all 8 cylinders. They've kind of got Eastern's offensive passing attack diagnosed right now, and it's important to Eastern to get something going right now into the locker room at halftime.
Eagles with 3 wide receivers to the right side, actually 1 man a running back, and that's Niffen, who'll go in and then go back out. Ball dropped by Kevin LaRue. Tried to run a little screen and get some lead blocking for him from Niffen, and Kevin unable to hang on. In case you joined us late, the Eagles have had 1 drive deep into Northern Iowa territory. Received 1 bad blow when kicker and punter Eric Stein was shaken up on the opening kickoff. He has not returned to the lineup since. Warman has been handling the punting duties. Single setback is Niffen on 2nd and 10. Warman's going to have to just run out of bounds. A little bit of help for him from Tim Floyd coming back to block and protect for his quarterback, Bob Storbeck, the right inside linebacker, chasing Rick Warman out of bounds, along with Pat Williams. John, great coverage by the secondary, forcing Rick to run.
Yeah, it is. Rick Warman drops back, wants to hit somebody over the middle to tie it in. He can't find him. He just runs to the sidelines, and the linebacker, Bob Storbeck, did a good job of containing him. He's got better speed than I thought. The linebackers are extremely quick for their size, Todd.
Loss of 3 on the play for Warman. It'll bring up 3rd and 13 at the 27. And again, the nickel coverage for Northern Iowa. They bring an extra defensive back in and change to a 3-man front. Eagles run the draw to Niffen, and he'll be stopped short. Bob Storbeck leading the tacklers that time, along with Jeff Beals, the backup left end. And after a long drive last time, the Eagles go 3 and off this time. And again, Rick Warman will be handling the punting duties. Joe Fuller back deep on punt return for Northern Iowa, along with Scott Owens. And it'll be Fuller returning this kick 7 yards out to the 30-yard line. 43-yard punt for Rick Warman. Northern Iowa has the football. 6:48 to play in the first half. The Panthers enjoy a 17-0 lead. Back live in Cedar Falls, Iowa, where the Northern Iowa Panthers lead Eastern Washington 17-0. Panthers really dominating both sides of the line right now. Have the ball at their own 30-yard line. Errol Peebles, the ball carrier once again. Peebles rushed for over 800 yards during the season. He's brought down by Brad Faker. And John, with a 17-point lead, Northern Iowa really can sort of be content to run some clock time, grind it out on the ground, and let that physical pounding take its toll.
No question about it. They've been successful at running the ball. The last drive was basically all on the ground. Their trap play, their sweep play has been doing well. Eastern starting to tire on the defensive front line, giving up a lot of poundage there.
But this is a team that doesn't give up. They've rallied before. Boyd, the ball carrier, gets some good blocking and will take it over the 35-yard line. Mike Kingston, Brad Faker, Chris Seidel on the tackle for Eastern. Ball will go to the 39.
There we have a look at Boyd. It's a little trap play right up the middle with the fullback lead, and he just slides right through, following his center and his fullback. Nice little gain.
3rd down and a yard for the Panthers. Another look at Carl Boyd. 1,020 yards this season for the sophomore halfback, and he'll get the call and pick up the first down. Brad Faker leads the Eastern defense along with John Eddy. But it's 3 yards and a seam of AstroTurf right now for the Panthers. We have an Eastern player shaken up. Ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line for Northern Iowa. Joe Kane, the player shaken up for the Eagles. We have a timeout, 5:41 in the second quarter. Northern Iowa 17, Eastern Washington nothing. First and 10, Northern Iowa at the 43-yard line as we return to action. Good balance by the Panthers so far. 100 yards rushing, 101 yards passing. They also have 6 first downs via the ground, 5 through the air, and they'll pick up another one passing. A great catch. Again, the tight end, Brian Baker, went up high that time to haul it in at the Eastern 46-yard line.
Again, it was a bootleg to the right side. He simply went, the tight end went down the center of the field to run the deep post. The ball was thrown a little high. He was able to get the grab, took a great hit, but wasn't able to hang on still.
Looked as though Baker jammed his hand a little bit making that reception. You see him coming off. They'll mark it now at the 47-yard line of Eastern, so a gain of 10. Good for another first down. 12th first down now in the first half as we go inside the 5-minute mark. And now Mike Smith will call timeout. A little bit of a mix-up that time in the Northern Iowa backfield. As he heads over to the sidelines, he'll get some signals. We have a timeout. The Panthers lead the Eagles 17-0. The Panthers have their signals, got back on the phones and grabbed a hold of Coach Darryl Mudra up in the press box and straighten things out now. Twin backs as we return to action. 4:57 left to play here in the first half. Smith looking again for Boyd. John, that's a fine pattern to pick up 17 yards on it. Really a deceptive play because everyone's concentrating on the tight end and Boyd slips underneath again.
He just slips on the outside. Brad Faker, the strong side linebacker, blitzed, and you saw him right in front of him. There was nobody there since he blitzed, and he was wide open right down the center of the field. They've done that 3 times now for good gains.
17 yards that time to Boyd, and a first down at the 30-yard line. Boyd and Peebles in the backfield again. 3 men split wide from the line for the Panthers. Smith looking down the sideline, and Stanky had gone, or rather Frankie, excuse me, Scott Frankie had gone out of bounds that time, bumped out. Coverage that time by Rob Freese along with Garrick Redden for the Eagles. They'll have a bit of a chat, Smith and Frankie, as they return to the huddle. Eric White comes into the lineup. Flanker will be split wide right to the top of your screen. You can see him just in the corner. Tight end inside of him, Sherrod Howard on 2nd and 10. Peebles, again, a big hole. Peebles will get close to the first down. He'll be about a yard short. Brad Faker on the tackle for the Eagles, along with Frank Stoutenrouse. Some fine blocking again, John.
There we see Peebles on the inside trap play, and it just opens wide open. As you can see, there's nobody around him 5 yards down the field. The linemen are even getting down on the secondary back, which makes it awfully difficult for them to tackle.
Eagles have another player shaken up. Weak side linebacker John Eddy is down, the 6'2 junior from Gig Harbor. Peebles now with 13 carries for 62 yards here in the first half. Boyd has 43. As we said, the Panthers are over 100 yards passing and 100 yards rushing here in the first half and enjoy a 17-0 lead with 4:02 on the clock in the second quarter. Their look at Eastern coach Dick Zorns. Really been tough. A lot of injuries, and the injury bug sort of hit the Eagles the last few weeks of the season, John.
The last 2 weeks, Eastern's lost 7 starters on offense and defense. 4 of them on the offensive line and 3 on defense. It's been awfully difficult this late stage in the season to bring in those second and third teamers. The young kids don't have a lot of experience, and they're thrown in the pressure cooker right away.
John Eddy able to head off the field under his own steam. The other 1AA playoff games being contested today, Georgia Southern is at #1 Middle Tennessee, and the winner of that game will play the winner of this game. Elsewhere, Rhode Island is at Furman, and Arkansas State is at Nevada Reno. 3rd and 1 for the Panthers, and a flag will be thrown as the lineman on the left side, Steve Spoden, the backup tackle, 6'3" freshman, had set himself and then lifted up out of his three-point stance. Illegal procedure will be called against the Panthers, and Steve will be called back to the sidelines. 3rd and 6 now for Northern Iowa. Had his big opportunity, jumped the count. Well, he got on TV that way, though, so. Eric White will come in from the sideline with the play. White will go split to the left. Frankie is split right. Sherrod Howard in again at the tight end. Smith will check off at the line of scrimmage. Eagles blitz. In the initial pressure, they miss Smith. Good cutback, and the ball dropped by Eric White. He came back, broke off his pattern. John, a good blitz by the Eagles, but they missed their chances to drop Smith for a loss.
Yeah, they did. Smith, like I said, he is so elusive. He is so quick. The Eagles came with a blitz from the outside with the cornerback and the safety, and they came with everybody, and they put the pressure on, but he was able to get away. Looks like we have a penalty against
You see
NIU.
the Panthers penalized for illegal block, a clip. It's their 4th penalty of the game, their first major penalty. 4 penalties for 30 yards now for Northern Iowa. Eagles brought Daryl Hunter off the cornerback that time. And Hunter had a chance, just simply overran Smith. He avoided the pressure. Well, Northern Iowa fans have started, they're celebrating a little bit. The old-fashioned tradition, they've passed a co-ed all the way up to the top of the stands here in the Unidome. The only thing is they've kind of run out of bodies, so the guys who pass are having to loop back around and climb up 3 or 4 rows to get back in line again in the bucket brigade. But the rest of the student section on its feet as the co-ed is heading up to the top of the dome now. And that's the reason for the cheering down to our right. Mike Smith over talking with the officials for a moment. The ball marked all the way back at the 48-yard line, a 15-yard penalty from the point of the foul. So it's 3rd and 28 for the Panthers at their own 48-yard line. They'll keep the twin backs, Boyd and Peebles, in the backfield. Owens to the left, Frankie to the right. Smith with all day trying to find Frankie, and it's batted up and broken up by Russ Elliott, the strong safety. Rob Freese also there on the coverage. All day for him to throw that time, John.
Yeah, he did. He ran a streak route and a post corner route, and Russ Elliott was playing half field, saw the ball thrown in the air, and just collapsed on the ball for a nice play to knock it out right at the last second. And that type of defense, they're squatted at the corners, and they have half field for safeties.
We'll talk about that a little bit. Put it into English for you football fans as well. 48-yard line, and another outstanding punt by Clay Natusul will go into the end zone on the fly. So the Eagles will have the ball at their own 20-yard. 3:07 left.
Well, in that particular play, Eastern came with 2 safeties that play deep and have each half of the field to cover, and then the cornerbacks play the flat coverage and just wait for the backs out of the backfield.
Here's one score from one of those playoff games. Furman leading Rhode Island by a score of 10-3 in the first quarter. Furman's disciplined team against the passing attack of Rhode Island. Should be an interesting matchup. Warman will throw on first down and throws it out of the reach of John Villa, the intended receiver. Moses Amable on the coverage for Northern Iowa.
You know, you really get the feeling, Ty, that Eastern's offense has really never gotten into the flow of the game. It seemed like they've been stopped by a penalty or an interception. They really haven't gotten into the flow like they usually do. They're running on about 6 cylinders right now with 2 that just aren't quite clicking.
Eagles will have to get untracked in a hurry if they'd like to get on the scoreboard here before halftime. 3:05 left to play in the second quarter. With the exception of one good sustained drive, the Eagles have not been able to move the ball well. Warman's pass over the head of Craig Richardson. Moses Amable covering along with Spencer Cowan, the outside linebacker. We'll take another look at that pass intended for Craig Richardson.
So you see Craig running the deep out. He goes down about 12 yards, cuts to the sidelines for the out route for about 12-yard gain. The ball was thrown a little high. Rick Warman is under pressure again. He's been under pressure every passing play in this first half.
Kevin LaRue will check into the lineup for the Eagles as Tim Floyd comes out of the backfield. Eagles with 3 wide receivers nipping the single setback. We'll have to check and see on the status of Jamie Townsend, too. Haven't seen much of him for a while. Of course, passing situation now as well for Eastern on 3rd and 10. Warman under pressure, ball nearly intercepted. In fact, 2 Northern Iowa defenders really got in the way of one another more than anything else on that one. Bob Storbeck and Mark Farley, the 2 inside linebackers, both dropped into that middle zone, and had one of them been kind enough to let the other one handle the ball, they might have taken it in. Warman will have to punt again for the Eagles. Little end-over-end kick really didn't get the ball to turn over. A bit wobbly. Grabbed at the 43 by Joe Fuller. And he'll return the ball into Eastern Washington territory before he's dropped. Brad Faker leading the coverage on the kick return team that time, and they'll spot the ball at the Eastern 49-yard line with 2:46 left to play here in the second quarter. The Panthers enjoying that 17-0 lead. Luis Gonzalez back in the lineup for Northern Iowa will split wide to the right side. Frankie is to the left. Peebles again just cutting back. He's really running well behind the blocking of Frank Orey, the 6'3 junior guard. And Errol Peebles will pick up another first down. We take a look at it, John.
It's that sweep again. They ran it about 3 different times, and it just cuts inside. The big blockers are downfield. The linemen are downfield, and he just keeps rambling for yards.
Great block by Bill Beals, the left tackle. The 6'6", 292-pound senior took Mike Kingston out of the way on that one. First down at the 35 for the Panthers. Again, Smith avoids pressure, and he's got room if he can get by Russ Elliott, but Elliott will make the tackle. A scrambling Mike Smith, pretty good rusher as well, takes it inside the 30. Rob Freeze on the tackle along with Elliott.
Looks like it's a broken up play. You see, he kind of almost trips over Peoples. He sits back. Joe Kane's got a chance to tackle him. He just cuts up. He's jumping over the piles. He's dodging. He has really fine speed for a quarterback, and just great play.
Almost as if he had eyes in the back of his head on that one to avoid Joe Kane. Again, an audible being called at the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 at the Eastern 24. Over the middle for Peebles, and a saving tackle that time by Darrell Hunter from the cornerback position. It'll go for another first down, a gain of 13 yards to the 12, and we'll take another look. John, the Panthers are rolling.
It's that same play. They just throw it right over he just sneaks through the middle of the line and just tosses the ball. You have man-for-man coverage with the linebacker, and that's pretty tough duty. It was a nice game. For a team that isn't supposed to throw all that much, they're certainly impressing me right now, their passing game.
Mark Cordes checks into the lineup for Eastern Washington. Russ Elliott shaken up, heads for the sidelines. Another broken play perhaps as Boyd turned around to look at Smith, and an interception for the Eagles. Ball is picked off in the end zone by Rob Freeze. Great athletic play. For a minute couldn't tell whether or not he grabbed it before he hit the ground, but Eastern will have possession at the 20-yard line.
There we say Rob Freeze, the quarterback Smith. Little mix-up again. He rolls to his right. He's trying to find a receiver in the corner of the end zone. He just throws it, kind of trying to throw it away. Rob Freeze stretches out back and makes a great diving catch for the saves. Like we said at the top of the show, he's made the plays game in and game out to turn the momentum of the game. Hopefully will right now for the Eagles.
See if it can in a hurry. 1:23 left on the clock here in the second quarter. It was amazing to look that time as Boyd just kind of turned around and looked at his quarterback, and they had a bit of a broken play. Eagles capitalize their first turnover they forced today. Warman will try to go long, puts it up for grabs, underthrown and intercepted. Rick Warman chasing under pressure, and that ball appeared to be short the minute he threw it. Moses Amable makes the interception, his 5th of the year. The pass intended for Craig Richardson, and the Panthers get a quick break back.
There we have a look at it.
Moses Amable, the top defensive back. All three of the DBs for Northern Iowa with 4 interceptions apiece this season. One of those by Amable was 100 yards, interception return touchdown. Panthers have the ball at their own 42, 1:16 showing on the clock here in the second quarter. They'll take to the air again. Smith rolling out to avoid pressure. And he'll put one up for grabs. Will it be our third turnover? It is caught by Scott Frankie. He wrestles the ball away from Garrick Redden, and the Panthers have it at the eastern 15-yard line.
Here we have a look at the play. Todd, he's rolling back, rolls back, sprint out to his left, sets up, he gets pressure at the last moment, he just throws it up. He's just going to throw it up for grabs. Scott Frankie and Derek Redden are waiting for it. They're both stopped, they're both fighting for it. Scott Frankie comes up with the grab. They both have it there, and at the last minute, he just rips the ball away. But in that situation, the tie goes to the offensive guy anyway.
The Panthers have called a timeout with 1:06 on the clock. That's their second timeout they've called of the half. Mike Smith now 11 of 19 passing for 184 yards and 1 touchdown. The grab for Frankie, his second catch. He has 57 yards in receptions. I don't know whether you'd call that a dream catch that time. So if we did, I suppose we could say Frankie goes to Hollywood. But anyway, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 15-yard line. And Northern Iowa has certainly been impressive offensively throughout this first half, John.
They certainly have. They've been effective on the ground. They've been effective in the air. They've kind of done whatever they wanted to do. They've been stopped only once or twice because of their own ineptness at a interception and the big penalty, but they have just been awfully impressive. A lot more speed than I thought. You see Coach Dick Zorns a little disgusted, knows he's going to have to try to stop them here and go in at halftime and rally the troops and see if they can come back in the second half.
Panthers at their own 15-yard line. Mike Smith down low behind center Mark Hansen. Bootleg again. He's got all day to throw. And it's intercepted.
Garrick Redden, great interception. Just stepped right in front of the receiver.
Sherrod Howard was the intended receiver. Let's take another look as Garrick Redden makes up for that last play.
Mike Slid is a bootleg to the right. He's looking for Sherrod Howard down the middle of the field. He throws it. He zips the ball. Garrick Redden just steps right in front, as you see there, for the grab on the 5-yard line. That was a great effort.
59 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. We'll see whether the Eagles will try to go for broke or just be content to run out the clock. Villa is split to the right side, and Richardson to the left. Niffen will carry the ball and be stacked up for little or no gain. Mark Farley leading the tacklers for Northern Iowa, along with Jeff Beals and Dwayne Price. And let's see, as they unstack, they'll call it a gain of a yard now, just out to the 6-yard line. So 2nd and 9, clock running now with 30 seconds left to play in the first half. Niffen will carry again, and it looks as though the Eagles will just gather things up and head for the locker room at halftime and try to regroup. Mike Campbell on the stop along with Bob Storbeck for Northern Iowa. The Panthers will not use their final timeout, and the Eagles don't have to call another play. It appears they won't, as Rick Warman stands looking at the clock in the end zone on the wall here at the Unidome, and it will run out of time. So the Eagles sputtering a little bit offensively, and the Northern Iowa Panthers with a fine first half offensively. Dick Zorns will head for the locker room, thinking of what he can say in a very short time to try to rally his troops and make a couple of adjustments, turn things around, John.
Yeah, there's no question that the Eastern sputtering right now. They can't seem to get their offense going. They had one short drive in the first quarter, and it ended up in an interception, but they just haven't been able to get the things going that they've done all year. The short passing game, the quick traps, complemented with fine defensive play, and Northern Iowa has just been able to run the ball with the big sweeps, getting the big linemen in front, and they're getting downfield, and it looks awfully bleak for Eastern right now.
So far, the Panthers have rolled here in the first half. We are at halftime from the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa. In this 1AA quarterfinal game, the Panthers lead the Eagles 17-0. Back at the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, where the Northern Iowa Panthers have a 17-0 halftime lead over the Eastern Washington Eagles. And so far offensively, the Panthers have dominated this game. They have about 320 yards in total offense, where the Eagles have really not been able to get on track much at all. They've had only 76 yards of total offense in the first quarter and didn't really sustain much at all in the second quarter, John Johnson, and hopefully they can get things on track and move the ball a little bit and keep the ball away from Northern Iowa's offensive attack.
That's the key, because the defense of Eastern's been on the field an awful long time. They've got an awfully strong offensive front, and the defensive interior line of Eastern has got to be getting tired right now. The interesting stat, Rick Warman is only 5 for 15. That's very uncharacteristic of Rip.
Dick Zorns had hopes that his team speed would be able to offset some of the power of Northern Iowa, but I'd have to think, as we mentioned during the first half, that right now the Panthers are a much quicker team than anyone anticipated.
No question about it, you know, especially their backs. I didn't think their backs were quite as fast as Jamie Townsend. I see Boyd and Peoples both have good speed. Peoples, the big bruiser at 228 pounds. We're having an awfully tough time. Eastern is stopping him with the quick traps and the sweeps outside.
Well, John, as a former player, it's hard to do anything in a very short halftime when you're in the locker room, but what sorts of things will Dick Zorns and his staff discuss, much less talk about with the players to try to rally them? How many adjustments can be made?
Well, you can make quite a few adjustments. I'm sure defensively they're going to make some adjustments, try to take that quick pass away from the running backs. They probably go into a stack-type defense to try to keep the linebackers covered behind the defensive linemen, so their big guards and tackles cannot get on the linebackers to free them up to make the tackles on the sweeps. And then and offensively, I think they just need to get on track. I think what they've done, they've had the people open. Rick Warman has not been able to get his receivers. He's had an awful lot of pressure. They're doing what they've done all year. They have been a little split second off. Their timing's not there. They need to get a little bit of that going for a little momentum to bring him into the second half.
Are you surprised there hasn't been more motion and more of the no-huddle offense that Dick had planned and talked about?
I don't think so. I think he was going to do that. If he got up, got a lead, he was going to keep moving and keep the pressure on him. I think in this situation, he wants to keep him more relaxed. Don't get him riled. Try to get some momentum into the second half. I think that he would see some of the quick stuff if we had a lead or on the drive.
Panthers took the lead on their opening drive with a field goal. They've been on top all the way, and Eastern's not gotten near the end zone. It's halftime in Cedar Falls, Iowa, where the Northern Iowa Panthers lead the Eastern Washington Eagles 17-0. I'd never make it here. That's a long scramble. Where? Okay. Yeah. Can you clip it on my pocket there? Thanks. Yes. Halftime at the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, where the Northern Iowa Panthers lead the Eastern Washington Eagles 17-0. With us now, Jerry Miles, the director of men's championships for the NCAA. And Jerry, Daryl Mudra's squad has put a pretty impressive display on here in the first half.
They really have, Todd. They look like a very well-balanced ball club. They can do it on the ground and certainly through the air, and a very good defensive club. So it's been a good first half for Northern Iowa. Still got a half to go, though.
That's true. It ain't over till it's over, as they say. Let's talk a little bit about the Division I AA playoffs. A lot of fans in the West Coast area, of course, know that 3 Western teams, Nevada, Reno, Idaho, and Eastern Washington, involved this year. But let's discuss the setup and how things will progress from here.
Well, of course, we're in the quarterfinals now, and the winner of this game here will host next week. If Eastern Washington can come back and win the ball game, they would be playing out in Spokane. It would be a noon kickoff. The winner of the Furman, Rhode Island game will host the other semifinal game. So we've got, at this point, we'll get to 4 next week, and then we'll have 2 in Tacoma.
Yeah, that's the other important point for fans who like some of this action and would like to see the Division I AA championship. It's not too far a drive. It'll be in the Tacoma Dome.
Yes, and that's a great facility. It seems like we're playing in more domes, doesn't it? But it is a great facility there in Tacoma. Of course, the first time we've been there, and we really hope that Tacoma and the state of Washington will turn out and support the game.
You mentioned that Eastern Washington or Northern Iowa will host next week. That's already been guaranteed. What sort of procedure do you go through to determine how your schools will host and what schools will host a game, what schools will travel as the playoffs go along?
Well, we try to look at the facilities, number one, and we look at how well they'll draw. And then in the case of Eastern Washington, they have played on the road, as you know. This is the second week in a row. So if we made them travel next week, that'd be 3 in a row. We don't feel that's fair to Eastern Washington or to any team. So that was a factor. Northern Iowa, though we're a little disappointed with the crowd today, Northern Iowa has been a very good draw. Good facilities. So those are the key things that we look at in picking the sites.
What about nationally, the enthusiasm and support for Division I AA playoff action? Do you find that growing as you go each season?
Yes, and we're very pleased this year that our national championship final in Tacoma will be on ESPN. That's a big plus for the championship, and I think that the poll throughout the season, it's always subject to a lot of criticism, but it creates a lot of interest too. The great thing about it is, though, you have the poll to try to create interest in 1AA football, then you decide on the field who's the best.
Let's discuss that poll for just a second, because unlike the wire service polls, which are done with coaches nationwide or with writers and broadcasters nationwide, this is done in a little bit different fashion.
Yes, it is, Todd. We have 4 members of our national 1AA committee, and they're responsible for conducting the poll. But each of them has an advisory committee in their region. And we're on the call. I'm on the call with them. We have 9 calls a year, 9 straight weeks, and I would say we probably average an hour and a half on each of those calls. The point is that there's a lot of discussion about the teams. It isn't just looking at scores. They really discuss the teams in their area, and then they try to put it together nationally and rank the teams.
It's just sort of done really as a seeding process then more than anything else by those 4 men.
Well, we use it for that too, but it's really to create interest and to give the team something to look forward to each week, to try to have a national poll. But yes, the top 4 teams then receive buys in the first round competition.
Well, Jerry, we'll hope we have an exciting second half here and that the Eagles can rally a little bit and provide you and everybody else with a good ball game here.
Well, I'm sure we will, because Eastern Washington's too good a ball club to be down 17-0. I think they'll come back. It'll be a good one.
Thank you for spending some time with us, Jerry.
My pleasure, Todd. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Jerry Miles, Director of Men's Championships for the NCAA. We're at halftime in the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa. It's Northern Iowa 17, Eastern Washington nothing.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you very much.
Excellence in undergraduate education. The University of Northern Iowa emphasizes direct faculty involvement in every student's instruction. Personal attention, a caring and committed faculty, and a wide variety of innovative programs. These make UNI an outstanding institution to prepare for careers of the future. The University of Northern Iowa, prominence in athletics within the context of instructional excellence.
Back in the Unidome in Cedar Falls, where the University of Northern Iowa Panther Marching Band has just finished a very impressive, albeit noisy, halftime show here in the Dome Stadium. John, that sound sure carries, and of course the Panther fans have had a lot to cheer about here in the first half.
Yeah, they have. The Panther UNI's played awfully well on offense and defense, stymieing Eastern Washington University on about everything they've tried.
It's 17-0 in favor of the Panthers, and we'll be going over some of our first half statistics for you in just a couple of minutes, but so far it's really been all Northern Iowa. Total offense in the first half, for example, is 317 yards for Northern Iowa as opposed to just 86 for the Eastern Eagles. As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of those halftime statistics for you now here in the first half, and you can see just how big a discrepancy there is between the two teams. 17-6 in the first downs. Eastern Washington really with only 31 yards rushing, and Rick Warman has been intercepted twice by the Panther defense, while on the other hand for Northern Iowa, Mike Smith is 11 out of 20 with 2 interceptions. But that total offense figure, you can see now the rushing yardage 134, the passing 184, 318 for Northern Iowa, and for Eastern Washington 31 yards rushing, 55 passing for 86. I know, John, that Dick Zorns has to be disappointed with just 86 yards of total offense in the first half, and I'm sure no one would ever dream giving up more than 300 in a first half to anybody.
There's no question about it. You know, Eastern is a 6th-ranked offensive team in the United States. They're putting up over 480 yards total offense, and I know that he's awfully disappointed in the way they played. But there's a whole half to go, and you never know what can happen. We got an explosive type offense, Eastern does, and may be able to come back.
Northern Iowa has the 6th-ranked rushing defense in Division I AA, giving up just over 90 yards a game, and the 17th-ranked total defense. So they're strong defensively, but I think they've been far stronger so far than anyone would have imagined here in the first half. There's a bit of a look at the air-supported dome here at the Unidome. The UNI standing for University of Northern Iowa, as well as unique. And an air-supported roof, as we said, it was built 10 years ago, celebrating the 10th anniversary now, at a cost of about $7 million. They estimated it would cost them upwards of $25 million to replace it now. Seats 16,400 people. They bring a basketball court out from underneath the bleachers here on the near side and play basketball. They have a running track around it. Very beautiful facility. And John, they almost lost it. We almost didn't get a game here for a while because of the heavy blizzards here in Iowa. They almost deflated the roof with all the snow and ice on it.
Early this week on Sunday and Monday, they had 12 inches of snow. They aren't used to that much snow. The Dome had never had that much snow on the stadium. So what they have to do, so it doesn't sag down, they had to jack up the temperature to 95 degrees in the Dome here to melt the snow. They have plugs on the roof and just let the water drip down onto the field.
Yeah, they have a whole heating system of cables, and it was a little bit wet on the field, but they got it, and the field's in great shape. Beautiful facility, as we said, and so far the Panther fans have just sort of sat back in comfort and enjoyed everything. At halftime, Northern Iowa leads Eastern Washington by a score of 17-0. We'll be back to get you ready for the second half of today's game in just a minute. Okay, are we going to have any replays? Okay. No problem. From Cedar Falls, Iowa, NCAA Division I AA quarterfinal playoff action continues. Northern Iowa leading Eastern Washington by a score of 17-0. Todd Pickett along with John Johnson at the Mini Dome here in Cedar Falls. A look at some individual statistics in the first half. For the Eagles, Jamie Townsend, 4 carries for 22 yards. Joe Niffen, 5 carries for 17. For Northern Iowa, Carl Boyd, 11 carries for 44 yards. Errol Peebles has been the workhorse, 14 carries for 68 yards. As you see, the Panthers returning to the field. And also Mike Smith, the quarterback, has 2 carries for 20 yards. Smith, 11 of 19 for 185 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Warman, 5 of 16 for 55 yards, 2 interceptions. And really some impressive receiving as well by the Panthers from tight end Brian Baker, as well as the split end Scott Frankie.
No question about it. They've caught the ball over the middle several times, taken great hits by the secondary of Eastern, but have been able to hang on to the ball in the tight situations.
There you see Dick Zorns and the Eagles regrouping, huddling up down in a corner of the end zone as they get set to return. And I'm sure, John, they've vowed that win or lose, they're going to come out and play with as much intensity as they can for these final 30 minutes.
Well, they know that there's only 30 minutes left unless they win, so they might as well go out and play it as hard as they can, because it might be a long time before they play again. They're going to come out fired up, and they're going to come out and play. It's a typical Dick Zorns type of team. They don't going to give up. They're going to go in and do the things right they wanted to do early and see what comes out.
They're a team which has rallied before against some very impressive and very tough opponents, and you see some of the Eagle team leaders, the captains, trying to inspire them, get everybody fired up, and see if they can come out and hit on all cylinders in the second half. We'll be back to bring you the second half of action from Cedar Falls in just a minute, with Northern Iowa leading Eastern Washington 17-0. Getting ready for the second half kickoff here at the Unidome on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa, where the hosts, the Panthers, lead Eastern Washington 17-0. Another playoff score for you in the first half. And a bit of a surprise, 9th-ranked Georgia Southern is leading the number 1 ranked Division I AA team, Middle Tennessee State, 13-0 in the first half. Of course, more exciting NCAA football action follows here on KREM 2 immediately after this playoff game between Eastern Washington and Northern Idaho. We'll be bringing you all the excitement of one of the most traditional rivalries in college football, the Army-Navy game. The cadets and the midshipmen are squaring off again. We'll join that game immediately following this afternoon's playoff game between Eastern Washington and Northern Iowa. And there's also a lot of exciting local sports action as well. The Shadle Park Highlanders and Ferris Saxons at the state AAA volleyball tournament, where the Highlanders are hoping to defend their state championship for the 2nd year in a row. And of course, all the excitement of the King Bowl already underway over in Seattle. Later tonight, Gonzaga Prep High School will be going for its 2nd AAA football title, taking on the Rebels of Juanita, who have a 2-year unbeaten streak and hope to win another state championship. Paul Seebeck will have all the details of state playoff action for you on KREM 2 News tonight at 5:30 and 11. The Eagles will take the opening kickoff here in the second half. Kevin LaRue is back deep for Eastern to take the kickoff of Kevin Moat. Goes to the near sideline, and LaRue grabs it at the 8. A little bit of trickery here. Flips it to Craig Richardson. Gets a block around the right side and has some room. One man to beat, but that one man is the All-American Joe Fuller there on containment, and Fuller makes the grab. A little bit of razzle-dazzle for the Eagles and gets some yardage out of it, John.
Yeah, it was. Kevin LaRue took the ball, went to the left, catches the ball, goes to the left, stops, throws back to Richardson on the other side. He's got a wall lined up, had one guy to beat, but Mr. Fuller is an awfully good tackler.
Good blocking, though, by the Eagles to seal that outside yardage and get plenty of room. LaRue 1-for-1 passing, hey, and they've got the ball out at the 32. First down. Townsend back in the backfield for the Eagles. He is all right, and will take the handoff from Warman. Big hole off the left side. Townsend will gain about 5 before he's dropped by Henry Saxon, the right outside linebacker, along with inside backer Bob Storbeck. Quick injury update for you as well. Eastern kicker punter Eric Stein suffered a concussion on the opening play of the game. He is doing well, but will not see any further action in this afternoon's contest. And Jamie Townsend, as we've already noted, is back in the Eastern lineup and is running at 100%. Townsend is slot to the left side now with Niffen in the backfield behind Warman on 2nd and 4. Townsend now will come closer to the line of scrimmage. Villa will make the grab, covered tightly by Joe Fuller. It'll be short of the first down. In fact, they'll only pick up about 3 yards on that quick out. There's a look at Joe Fuller, the 5'11", 173-pound senior from Minneapolis. 71 tackles, 4 interceptions, the Division I AA All-American. Eagles will have the ball at the 41, where it'll be 3rd and 2 for Eastern. If you joined us late, the Eagles had one drive deep into Northern Iowa territory. It was halted by an interception in the end zone. I formation. And it's Niffen. Second effort will carry him close to, but still short of the first down. Henry Saxon making the tackle for Northern Iowa, with an assist for him from Tim Moses coming up from his left cornerback position. Niffen will be about a yard short, and the Eagles will be forced to punt. Rick Warman back to kick once again. Scott Owens and Joe Fuller deep for Northern Iowa. Good hanging punt this time by Warman. Owens all the way back to his own 10-yard line. Tries to cut back and is dropped. Good punt coverage once again by the Eagles. Doug McGill leading the way that time for Eastern. And for Warman, a 48-yard punt that time. Ball will be spotted at the 11-yard line, where the Panthers will have it 1st and 10.
That was a pretty good punt by Rick. He doesn't do a lot of punting in practice. He is a backup. He did some punting in high school, but he kicked a nice one there for that one, for not kicking too much this year.
Panthers, with 318 yards of total offense in the first half, have the ball again at their own 11-yard line. Errol Peebles will take the handoff. Peebles grabbed by Frank Stoutenrouse along with Joe Kane that time. And for Northern Iowa, really today, it's been more of a case of stopping themselves offensively than the Eagle defensive line stopping their drives. Ball will be marked at the 14, 2nd and 7. Again, wide split by the backs. 3 receivers in the pattern. And the pass intended for Carl Boyd coming out of the backfield will go incomplete. Russ Elliott and Garrick Redden on the coverage for Eastern.
Northern Iowa's continued to pick on the center, deep center of the Eastern zone on defense. They seem to find a hole there when Eastern's in a particular type of pattern. They bring the running back out of the backfield, down the seam in the middle, and always have someone close to being open.
Georgia Southern now leads Middle Tennessee State, the number 1 ranked 1AA team, 21-0 in the first quarter. A bit of a surprise there. Middle Tennessee, maybe that bye hurting them more than it has Northern Iowa here so far. Draw play to Redden, and the Eagles are going to bottle up Northern Iowa deep in the Panthers' zone territory. It was Frank Stoutenrouse, Joe Kane in on the tackle with an assist from Mike Kingston, and Northern Iowa will be forced to punt for the first time in a long time. Coming on for the Panthers is Clay Natusul, 6'2" junior from Ames, Iowa. For the Eagles, Rob Freese and Kevin LaRue are back deep to receive. Natusul thumps another high punt. Freese will take it at his 32-yard line. And Freese just kind of lost his own balance, had the hole. I think he kind of looked up as everybody else did with that crunch that time on Kevin LaRue. We have a timeout. Northern Iowa leading Eastern Washington with 12:08 to play in the third quarter. And a reminder once again, the cadets and the midshipmen, the Army-Navy game will follow. There goes the Panther now up to the top. That'll follow our game here from Cedar Falls, Iowa. Kind of spirited crowd. Meanwhile, Dick Zorns is not exactly participating in the revelry. He wants to see his offense get on track. The Eagles have the ball at their own 39. Worman with time in the pocket this time. And a fine catch along the sideline by Craig Richardson. Came back nicely. Richardson with a good grab. Joe Fuller on coverage.
Yeah, Craig's going to go out on the deep out cut. He goes down about 14 yards. Cuts back, runs the safety man off, and then cuts to the outside for a nice catch and nice throw.
Richardson a little bit short of the sticks as he came back. It'll be a 2nd down and 4. There's a look at Craig on the sideline, the junior from O'Dea High School in Seattle. Floyd in motion for the Eagles. Townsend will get 1st down yardage. Fine blocking by the left side of the Eastern offensive line that time. Check it, it's Joe Niffen with the 1st down yardage. Ball marked at the Northern Iowa 47-yard line. Good job that time by the left side of the Eagle line to open the hole. Mark Farley on the tackle for Northern Iowa. 1st down for the Eagles. A little more than 11 and a half minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. 17-0 Northern Iowa. Worman looking for Richardson. There's a fine catch by, no, they'll rule it incomplete. Craig Richardson appeared to make a nice catch there along the sideline, but it was ruled incomplete. You saw the Eastern sideline react. John, let's take a look.
It was a check off at the line of scrimmage. They're going to throw the quick fly. As you can see, the ball's thrown. It's going to go right over the head of the linebacker. Craig Richardson does a great job reaching back for the ball, stretching out. Caught the ball. He was hit and landed right out of bounds, but
tough to see from that angle, but it looked as though he had the ball tucked away when he came down. Joe Fuller on the hit. They rule it an incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 47. That's Villa in motion. Blitz from Northern Iowa, and they run right into Joe Niffen. Worman pulled it back. Tried to avoid some pressure, but there was nowhere to go. It looked as though they were bringing people off the sidelines. So many purple jerseys came in that time.
They came in on the max blitz. They went man for man on the outside receivers. Just came and brought everybody along. There was nobody to hand it off to. It was just a big mess in the backfield. Back to that previous play, I think they ruled that he wouldn't have been inbounds if he would have not been hit. My opinion on that one, I think he would have fallen inbounds. The hit knocked him out of bounds, and I think it should have been a completion.
From midfield, it's 3rd and 13. Panthers will cover this time instead of blitz. Worman for Tim Floyd and overthrows him. Looked as though he hesitated a little bit and double pumped on that pass, John.
Yeah, it did. He's trying to hit the fullback with an out and up the sidelines. Threw the ball, it lofted a little bit too much. Need to put more zing on it, and it would have been a completion.
So the Eagles will be in punt formation once again from midfield. Nice high kick again by Worman. Fair catch signaled for, and the ball is going to stop dead and be down by Russ Elliott inside the 5. They'll spot it at the 3-yard line. Good coverage by the Eagles, John.
Was good coverage and a nice pump by Rick.
We have a timeout. 10:32 in the 3rd quarter. Northern Iowa 17, Eastern Washington nothing. Back live in Cedar Falls, Iowa, where the Eastern Washington Eagles have Northern Iowa deep in its own territory. There was a holding penalty against the Panthers on Rick Warman's punt. The yardage would not have been enough to give Eastern a first down, so the Eagles elect, with the fine punt coverage and the downing by Russ Elliott at the 3-yard line, to give the Panthers a first down there. Carl Boyd will be stacked up by the Eastern defense, and the Eagles celebrate a little bit that time. Frank Stoudenrouse along with Mike Peak on the tackle. Peak, the 6'3" junior from Elma, from the defensive left tackle position. Loss of a yard on the play, and they'll spot it now at the 3. They initially call it the 4 for the first down, so 2nd and 11 at the 3-yard line. Anthony Price checks in to the Northern Iowa lineup at 1 wide receiver. The give is to Boyd. He'll slip to the outside, and Rob Freese will corral him there, along with some help from the rest of the secondary. John Eddy back in the lineup, making a stick along with Garrick Redden. And good run defense right now by the Eagles, John.
Yes, it was. It was fine pursuit by the defense. We have a look at it here. It's a sweep to Boyd. The fullback leads. They did a good job. Brad Faker stacking it up there. Robbie Freese just waiting there on the corner to slow him up with help from Garrick Redden and John Eddy. It was a nice defensive play, good rally to the ball.
3rd and 9 at the 5-yard line now for the Panthers. Smith from his own end zone has all day to throw, and the pass intended for Sherrod Howard is broken up by Kevin O'Connor. Fans thought O'Connor might have gone through the body a little bit that time for a possible pass interference call, but no flag thrown. What'd you think, John? Put you on the spot.
Oh, I tell you what, he got there a little bit before. From up here, it looked like it might have been PI, but it was awfully close. You know, break here and there, judgment call.
There's the look Clay Natussel has from his own end zone. Makes a fine punt. Freese will take it at midfield. Good coverage again, and Rob Freese is going to be snowed under. The initial hit on Freese was made by Garland McCleary, and then he was dropped by Sherrod Howard along with a couple other tacklers for the Northern Iowa Panthers. Good downfield coverage that time by NIU. The Eagles will have the ball at their own 49-yard line, as you see Rob Freese over talking with Dick Zorns. 8:59 left to play here in the 3rd quarter in Cedar Falls, Iowa. By the way, outside it's been pretty cold, a lot of snow. Kind of looks like Spokane, maybe a few more drifts, a little bit higher, but the roads are in good condition. Eagles going to the draw play once again. Mark Farley making the stop on Joe Niffen. Farley leading the way that time along with Edward Grimes from his right end position. Niffen got just about a yard. We'll make it almost 3 now, excuse me, as it goes to the 48 of Northern Iowa. So 2nd and 7 for the Eagles there. Tim Floyd will check out of the lineup. Eagles will go to 3 wide receivers. Niffen in the backfield. That's Richardson at the bottom of your screen with Villa in the slot, and LaRue to the right. Richardson can't hang on to the ball. Moses Amable coming over on coverage for Northern Iowa, but Craig Richardson, of course, some of the other receivers really too, John, having a bit of a case of the dropsies today.
Yeah, and that's really uncharacteristic. They've been very sure-handed all season. Craig Richardson has had some great games. I think it's just one of those things where when things aren't going right, it seems like that nothing will go right.
Tim Floyd brings the play in from the sidelines. Richardson to the right, Villa to the left. 3rd and 7 at the 48. Villa in motion. Warman hit as he throws, but wide open is tight end Eric Riley. If he can get a block, he could get deep. Tried to go off a block from Villa and will take it down to the 20-yard line before he's hauled down. Moses Amable on the stop for Northern Iowa, along with Mark Farley and Joe Fuller. But the Eagles, perhaps really, John, their most successful play of the day, will take it down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and actually Rick Warman got hit right as he was going to throw the ball. The ball fluttered a little bit, but Eric Riley was so wide open over the middle that he was able to make the grab and have a nice little run at it. But Rick Warman continues to get that pressure, and pretty soon it's going to start taking a toll on that body of his.
They'll spot the ball just inside the 21-yard line. Rick Warman hoping that this will not be his final game as quarterback at Eastern Washington University, trying to get his team into the end zone, trailing 17-0 with 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Under pressure, throwing for Floyd, one-on-one with a linebacker, and can't get to it. Good coverage by Mark Farley, the inside linebacker. Tried to lob that one to Tim Floyd, and again, as you said, John, Rick Warman under pressure as he threw.
Yeah, they came on the blitz. They had man-over-man coverage. Tim Floyd snuck out of the backfield, went up the sidelines. Rick really just threw that ball away.
Tracy Poffenroth will check in the lineup for the Eagles, 6'2" junior from Shadle Park High School in Spokane, and the 6th member of the Poffenroth family to letter in football at Eastern Washington University. Tracy is split to the left side. Floyd in motion. Warman looking for Tim Floyd, tipped and batted away. Just broken up by Dave McCorvey, the 6'2" freshman, the nickelback in the extra pass coverage situation. Let's take a look at just a second at that play. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Eagles at the 21, and that ball just short of getting it to Tim Floyd for the touchdown, John.
There we look at the ball. It was tipped away. Tim Floyd was open. He had the linebacker beat, but the ball just hung a little bit, gave the linebacker a chance to come and get under the ball to make the deflection.
3rd and 10 at the 21. The Northern Iowa student body rises and starts the rhythmic clapping and cheering, trying to encourage the defense, make some noise. Warman says he can't hear. And this, John, is a matter that was discussed at the meeting last night about this being a dome stadium and the crowd rising up making noise. It just bounces off of everywhere, and a few people can sound like a lot.
Yeah, it does. There's no question about it. They talked about it last night. Coach Zorns voiced his concerns that his quarterback may not be able to hear if the crowd got into the game. There's a lot of concrete in this structure. There's concrete all the way up until the ceiling. The sound just bounces off, and it doesn't take too many people screaming in here, and you cannot hear the calls from the quarterback.
And everybody knows that the minute they break the huddle, it's going to start up just right again and all even louder. Here they go again.
There it is. But they can be penalized in this situation if they do not stop after the second call for quiet.
Well, the coaches and players have to be instructed to ask the crowd to be silent. Looks as though Warman will go ahead, and that's the quickest way to silence a crowd. Throws for, see, is that LaRue or Poffenroth on the far side? It is Kevin LaRue. And that's how you keep the crowd quiet in a hurry. Pick up a first down. Good catch by LaRue. Rick Warman spotted that ball perfectly. Down low to the outside where the defensive back couldn't get a hand on it.
Yeah, I had to throw it. That was the only place he could throw it. They were coming on a blitz. It was a man-for-man situation. What the defender does not want to do in that situation is let him go inside. So they give you that out pattern about 12 yards downfield. It was just enough for a first down.
And it was 12 yards. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line for the Eagles. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Floyd, the single running back. Warman will look. Floyd wide open for the touchdown. Somebody missed coverage that time, and Tim Floyd, the minute Rick Warman stood up, he saw how open Tim Floyd was, floated that one in for the 9-yard touchdown, and the Eagles finally cracked the scoring column.
That was the exact same play that Northern Iowa does with Peoples down the center of the field. Just slips him out to the outside, right down the tube in the middle. He was wide open for a touch.
Tim Floyd's 3rd receiving touchdown of the year. We'll take another look at it. Well, we'll look at it after the extra point attempt. John Villa will hold for the Eagles, and it'll be backup quarterback Rob James who's doing the kicking with Eric Stein shaken up. James, a former kicker at U High, adds the extra point, and the Eagles are on the scoreboard. 6:52 to play in the third quarter. Northern Iowa 17, Eastern Washington 7. Rob James set to kick off for the Eastern Eagles. Luis Gonzalez and Scott Owens are deep for Northern Iowa. James a line drive, and it'll go again to one of the up men. It's Frank Orey returning his second kickoff of the game. He took the opening kickoff as well and returns it out to about the 28-yard line.
But that last drive for Eastern was 7 plays, 51 yards, took up 2 minutes and 7 seconds, capped off with a 9-yard pass from Warman to Tim Floyd.
Warman with a pretty good job on that drive, was 3 of 6 for 48 yards passing, so hopefully he'll get untracked a little bit as well. For the game now, Rick Warman is 11 of 26 for 113 yards. He was just 5 of 16 in the first half. Spotted at the 28 for the Panthers. Smith will roll out under pressure, unloads. That's one of those in the graft situations in the pros, but not in the college. Frank Stoutenrouse applying the pressure. Frank with 15 sacks this season, almost got number 16.
Here we have it's a bootleg to the left. Rolls up. Brad Faker does a good job of pulling him up, and then in comes Frank Stoutenrouse to put the pressure on. Smith was just able to flick it just as he left the ground. He was ready to hit the ground to throw it out. You know, that's a call that is not used a lot. That you could throw a grounding on that one. I've seen it done before, but
they had a receiver pretty well in the neighborhood that time, and Errol Peebles will pick up more yardage for the Panthers. Out close to the 35-yard line. Be a gain of about 7. Second quarter score in another playoff game. Furman now leading Rhode Island 24-3. Rhode Island with a very vaunted high-powered passing attack, but so far it has not gotten untracked against the Paladins of Furman. Ball spotted at the 35. It'll be 3rd down and 3 yards to go for Northern Iowa. Boyd will be the ball carrier. Good lead blocking for him, and he'll be out over the 40-yard line for a first down. That point of attack has really worked well for the Panthers all game, John.
Now they get those big guards out in front of those backs. They pull to the outside, and the backs do a good job of just staying right on behind them, just waiting for the holes to open up, and they slide through for a nice gain. They're in the secondary before the Eastern knows what's happening.
Chris Seidel made the stop with the ball all the way out to the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers, and right now it's critical, John, for Easter to stop Northern Iowa, get the ball back, and try to regain more momentum. It's Peebles again carrying the ball, and he'll be close to first down yardage. Over midfield and into Eastern Washington territory, Rob Freeze leading the Eastern tacklers along with Russ Elliott. They'll spot it at the 48, so it'll be 2nd and a yard to go from the Eastern 48-yard line. A little more than 5 minutes now to play here in the 3rd quarter. Boyd, big hole again, and one tackler really to beat. That man will bring him down and save a long gain. It's Brad Faker from the linebacker position.
There we look at it, just a dive play to the outside. Boyd just slides right in between 2 tacklers, and with that great speed, you know, he can just split those safeties so easily, a lot like Jamie Townsend of Eastern does.
Frank Orey, the guard who's done a lot of the key blocking for the Panthers, is checked out of the lineup from his left guard position. Boyd will get the call again and be wrapped up this time in the backfield. Good play by Alan Gilmore from the middle linebacker spot. Gilmore in replacing Chris Seidel. They'll call it a loss of a yard. Spot the ball back at the 37-yard line. And Orey back in the lineup now for Northern Iowa. Bob Denholm in the linebacker position for Eastern Washington. 6'3" freshman from Montesano. They'll switch in the backfield. Backs really weren't set that time. Under pressure, Smith will be sacked by Garrick Redden, coming on a blitz from his free safety position. John, that was kind of a missed play. I didn't think anybody was set for Northern Iowa as well in the backfield.
Yeah, Garrick Redden, they didn't disguise the blitz. He was right out the line of scrimmage, just waiting for him to hike the ball. He did. He slid in between the tackle and the guard, and there was no one there right in the face of Smith.
Defensive tackle Mike Kingston came up limping on that play, and now we'll check out of the lineup. You see him going off the top of your screen. Kingston has been bothered by knee problems this season, and he'll be replaced by Mike Peak, the junior from Elma. Third down 23 at the Eastern 49-yard line. Smith again changing signals, checking off the line of scrimmage. Tries to run a quarterback draw. The Eagles will react to that in a hurry. He had a hole momentarily, but not for long, and the Eastern Eagles collapsed nicely. Alan Gilmore on the stop for the Eagles, along with Doug McGill. And that'll bring up fourth down for Northern Iowa. The ball at the 44-yard line. And Clay Natusul will be in to punt once again. He's had an outstanding afternoon when he's been called upon to punt. Rob Freese back deep for the Eagles. High kick by Natusul. Freese signaling the fair catch. Will let the ball go. It'll bounce almost straight up. So the Panthers will just let this one roll as deep as it wants to before they'll finally touch it down at about the 6-yard line. We have a timeout with 2 minutes 38 seconds left in the third quarter. Our score, Northern Iowa 17, Eastern Washington 7. The Eagles have the ball at their own 6-yard line after a fine punt by Clay Natusul. His punting average has dropped a little bit this season. He had about a 43-yard plus average last year. This year he's at about 40.4 coming into today's game. But out of his 56 punts prior to today, 21 had been down inside the 20-yard line. And the Panthers did an excellent job of downing this one at the 6. Rick Warman will try to get the Eagles untracked from there. And goes to the tight end pass again to Eric Riley. That'll get the Eagles out of trouble in a hurry, and a first down out at the 22-yard line. Mark Farley and Tim Moses on the stop. John?
That time Rick Warman checked off the line of scrimmage, wanted to hit Eric Riley just as he got off the line of scrimmage, just snuck right down the center of the field and made a catch, and he's in the secondary for a first down.
Eric Riley, 36 catches, 5 touchdowns coming into today's game, an average of 13.6 yards a catch. Quick pass on the square out to Kevin LaRue. Sophomore split end will pick up some more yardage. Moses Aimable on the coverage for Northern Iowa.
Rick Warman again that time checked off, threw the quick out. He saw the defenders backed off, just threw the quick out to Kevin LaRue. There was no one around him, picked up 5 yards.
LaRue's third catch now for 19 yards. He's leading Eastern receivers. Eagles have it at the 30, where it'll be 2nd and 3. 3 wide receivers. Floyd is the man in the slot position. You see him adjusting momentarily. Warman with another quick pass to Villa, and he'll have the catch just above the 33-yard line. Should be a first down by the spot of the ball. We'll take another look at the catch.
Here we see John Villa. He just goes about 5 yards down and stops and waits for the ball. The ball was thrown a little bit behind him, but you just want to do that at the line of scrimmage. Take 5 quick steps, stop. The ball should be there.
It is enough for a first down for the Eagles. They'll mark it at the 33-yard line. Crowd trying to interfere again with Warman's signal calling. This time he'll drop, look for a deeper route, throws to a checkoff man. It's Niffen who'll pick up another first down out to the 45-yard line. Spencer Cowan making the stop. John, Rick Warman's getting more time to throw.
He's getting a little bit more time. He's hitting the quick routes, and what that does, the quick routes, it opens up the deeper routes if you get a deeper drop. That time he caught him off guard, it looked like. I didn't think they thought he was going to throw on second down. Took the deep drop and just laid the ball out to Joey Niffen over the middle.
Man shaken up for Northern Iowa, Bob Storbeck, the right inside linebacker. Boy, you don't think a half makes a difference sometimes. In the first half, Rick Warman was just 5 of 16. Here now in the second half, double check, I think he's 10 of 14 if we've got him right. 10 of 14 for Rick Warman in the second half for 155 yards passing. So quite a difference for Rick Warman, who's made a bit of a turnaround here in the third quarter. Clock running now with a little bit more than a minute to go in the third period. Eastern on the move again. Warman for the game now 13 of 29, but 6 straight completions. Niffen, the ball carrier. Jeff Beals leading the tacklers for Northern Iowa. First quarter score between the service academies. The Navy has taken a 7-0 lead over the Army. We'll be joining that game in progress right after this playoff game between Eastern Washington and Northern Iowa. Warman with lots of time going deep, looking for Craig Richardson, and the catch is made at the 17-yard line. Rick had all day to throw that one. It was just a matter of getting the ball to Craig Richardson, John.
Yes, it was. Craig Richardson ran a stop and go, just ran straight down the field. Rick Warman pumped inside to the middle, looked outside, hit Richardson. It was a great catch to come back, lay out, just got that left foot in bounds. That was great concentration and a great throw.
Tremendous adjustment there by Craig Richardson. You take a look at him, the junior from O'Day. If that ball had been thrown a little bit further out front, that was 6 points. But Craig made a great adjustment to catch it.
He did.
First down, Eagles. The Northern Iowa fans trying to make some noise once again. Ball spotted at the 17-yard line. I formation, Niffen and Townsend in the backfield. Pass too tall that time. 2 receivers in the pattern. Tracy Poffenroth was underneath. And there you take a look at Kevin LaRue. And to tell you the truth, John, I'm not sure exactly which person that pass was intended for.
I think he saw both of them covered, and he simply wanted to throw it out of the grasp. I think he was going for the deeper receiver, Kevin LaRue, who had to lay out for it, but really didn't have much of a chance for it.
18 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. UNI student body up once again, cheering on the defense. Villa one-on-one against Moses Amable, fumbles the ball, and it's Northern Iowa's football. Tim Moses comes up with it for the Panthers, a big turnover.
Harry simply throws a quick slant to John Villa. Villa catches the ball, splits in between the corner and the safety. He's going down, lost the ball, it was stripped away. It was a nice play by the defender of Northern Iowa. Here we look at it again from behind. He runs a quick post, has the ball, tries to split between the corner and safety. Number 40.
Mark Farley coming over from his linebacker position to knock that one loose. Yep, snuck up from behind, and just when the Eagles had great momentum going, they turned the ball over to the Northern Iowa Panthers. Alan Gilmore making the stop that time on Carl Boyd, and we've run out of time in the third quarter with the Eagles knocking on the door. They're denied by the turnover at the end of 3. Northern Iowa 17, Eastern Washington 7. We start the fourth quarter from the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa. The host Panthers have the ball 2nd and 7 at their own 6-yard line. Great catch by Sherrod Howard to tight end. John, I tried to listen in that time, just listen to the check off the audible that time, and really there was pretty good coverage by the Eagles, but Howard with a fine grab.
Yeah, he did. He just came off the line of scrimmage, and Smith just lopped the ball over the top, and with that big 6'4" frame. Here we have a look at it again. He just runs straight down the field and kind of just waits for the ball, gets behind the safety. You know, hey, 6'3", 6'4", pretty tough for those tiny DBs to defend against.
Yeah, 5'10" Garrick Redden and 5'11" Russ Elliott on the play. First down at the 20-yard line. Eagles with some pressure. And they're going to make the tackle to finally call Errol Peebles down. Good job by Mike Smith. He saw the blitz coming and threw to the one-on-one coverage, John.
Yeah, he did. Simply the back just goes right off the tackle, tosses the ball right as he gets through the line of scrimmage. You've got man for man with the linebacker, 51, Brad Faker. He hangs on for dear life. Nice play.
A little bit of a hog-tying job that time to haul him down, but a first down at the 36-yard line for the Panthers. Errol Peebles will be carrying the ball. Brad Faker on the tackle for Eastern. They'll spot it at the 41-yard line, a gain of 5 that time for Peebles. Eagles making some substitutions defensively. Bentley Williams will check into the lineup again at the right cornerback position. 2nd and 5 at the 41 now. Once again, an adjustment by the Panthers. Smith will go for it all, looking for his tight end again, Sherrod Howard. Double coverage that time. Russ Elliott getting some help from Brad Faker at the linebacker position. The Eastern drive went 92 yards on 8 plays before John Villa's fumble, which was recovered at the inside the 5-yard line. Some third quarter statistics. Eastern Washington offense now up to 249 yards. So the Eagles had 163 yards of total offense in the third quarter alone, while Northern Iowa had just 38. They had 318 at halftime. They have 356 now. 3 Eastern turnovers, and of course the biggest one, the fumble deep in Northern Iowa territory, which started this current Panther drive. 3rd and 5. Smith has time and finds Howard, who drops the ball. Sherrod Howard, who's had tremendous catches all afternoon, unable to hang on to perhaps one of the easier ones he's had today. Russ Elliott was covering. Note passed along to us, Howard, only his 3rd year of playing football. He was an All-American baseball player in high school, Simeon High School in Chicago. Punt time for the Panthers. Eagles will have Freeze and LaRue deep. Clay Natussel set to kick once again. A little bit lower than some of his other kicks. Freeze will have time for a run back at the 16. Has a wall along the left side. Freeze with some good blocking, could go all the way. One downfield block, one man to beat. Freeze is going to go for the touchdown. 84-yard punt return. Rob Freeze, no flags on the play. Touchdown, Eagles.
That was a beautifully set up wall for the Eastern Eagles. Robbie Freeze took the ball back. Here we go. Robbie Freeze taking it back at about the 15-yard line. Cuts to the left. Got a block from Kevin LaRue there. The wall is set. Splits that tackler. There the wall's set. He splits it. You can see the guys out in front. He's off to the races right now. Robbie Freeze, 2nd time he's done that. He did it the Idaho game.
One last man to try to beat. Scott Gardner tried to catch him with his last tackle, but he shakes it off, splits free, and is into the clear. 84-yard touchdown punt return for Rob Freeze, and we have a ball game once again. Rob James is on to kick. Boy, now you say if only they'd managed to hang on to that one deep. James adds the extra point, and we have 12:47 left on the clock in the fourth quarter. It's Eastern Washington trailing Northern Iowa 17-14. The guy sitting in the back is the guy who's winded. There's Rob Freese, who went 84 yards for the touchdown on the punt return, bringing the Eagle deficit to within 3 points. Rob James set to kick off for Eastern. Kicks this one to the far side of the field. Short kick, and it will bounce out of bounds as Northern Iowa's Luis Gonzalez let the ball go out of bounds. Rob James kicking it clear across the field from the right side hash mark, and the Eagles will be backed up 5 yards.
Got to remember that Eric Stein's out, and Rob James is doing the kicking now. Not used to doing field goal kick or kickoffs, and the kickoff does a lot of field goal work, but not the kickoff, and I'm sure it's bothering him right now. Hasn't had a lot of chance to do it, but
well, especially being a backup quarterback, you just don't spend much time. There's an update now. The Army-Navy game, 3 minutes to play in the first quarter, and the Cadets have come back to tie the midshipmen. We'll bring the rest of that game immediately following this playoff action from Cedar Falls, Iowa. But, hey, call your friends and tell them if they shut off the set early, get it back on. We've got plenty of time left, and we have a ball game again. It's 17-14, 12:47 left to play in the fourth quarter. Fine kick by James this time. Gonzalez will take it at the 12-yard line. No, check it. It is Scott Owens making the grab, and Owens will bring it back over the 30-yard line before he's hauled down. Mark Cordes. Also Kevin LaRue in on the tackle for the Eagles. So the Panthers of Northern Iowa with the ball at the 32. John, you've got to bring the Eastern defense right back on the field after the punt return, but they also come back with a lot of momentum after that touchdown.
Yeah, it's a little different now. I'm sure they're not quite as tired as they were last drive with that score to keep them up. It's important that they stop right now, do a good job. As you see the Peoples do a good job of containing them, try to get the ball back and get a chance to score again.
Errol Peebles wrapped up by Mike Kingston. Got an assist from Alan Gilmore. And another man shaken up. It's Russ Elliott shaken up on the previous play. Ball marked at the 37, make it the 38-yard line now as they shep that just a little bit. So it'll be a second down and 4 yards to go for the Panthers at that point. Errol Peebles now 20 carries for 98 yards to lead all running backs. Rick Warman having an outstanding second half. He's now 13 of 16 for 147 yards in the second half. Overall, he's 18 for 32 for 201 yards in this ball game as you take a look at Russ Elliott, the 5'11 junior, strong safety from Kashmir. Halftime in another 1AA playoff game. Georgia Southern continuing to look impressive, leading Middle Tennessee State 21-0 at halftime of that ball game. Middle Tennessee, the #1 ranked Division I AA team for virtually the last half of this year, and of course all throughout the playoffs. Peebles has time, gets a hole, and is finally dragged down from behind by Pat Godsell, freshman defensive end from Richland. It'll be close to a first down. They're going to call timeout and bring the chains in for measurement, not membership. Jim Corbin's going to bring the crew in. And they've got first down by virtually the entire length of the football, so the Panthers will have 4 more plays at least and a chance to run some more time off the clock. Smith will bring the team back up once again. He has Owens wide to the right side and Frankie to the left. Ball at the 42. Looking to go long once again, and the ball batted away. Good coverage by Garrick Redden as he knocked down the pass intended for Scott Frankie, who lined up left, came clear across the field that time, John, into an open space as the Panthers sent 2 men deep, try to bring Frankie underneath.
There's a bootleg to the right. Scott Frankie going across as the receivers on the right side clear. Garrick Redden just comes out in front and knocks the ball away. Great defensive play. He's done that twice today. He continues throughout the year to make big plays.
Garrick Redden with the nice play there, 5'10 junior from Kennewick. Smith now in the second half, just 2 out of 8 for 30 yards, so a bit of a turnaround as well for the Panther quarterback. 2nd and 10. Peebles finally dropped by Mark Cordes, but not before Errol Peebles will gain a first down yardage, 13 yards to the Eastern 45-yard line, and another Northern Iowa first down.
That'll put Peebles over the 100-yard mark as well. 22 carries for 115 yards. 12th rushing first down of the game for Northern Iowa as we take a look at the Panther bench. They're 23rd overall. Peebles wrapped up nicely that time by Alan Gilmore from his middle linebacker position. Also got an assist from Pat Godsell. Doug McGill also in on the tackle for the Eagles. Dick Zorn's giving some of his players a bit of a rest. And John, it is getting rather warm and humid in here as much time as the defense has spent on the field.
Yes, it is. It's warming up awfully fast. It's going to start taking its toll, I'm afraid.
2nd and 9. Peebles again. Great play wrapped up around the ankles by Garrick Redden. Made the hit coming from the free safety spot. They'll spot the ball at the 43-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 8. Darrell Hunter assisting on the tackle as well. Sherrod Howard will check back into the lineup again for the Panthers. He'll be in the flex position to the right. It's Frankie to the left side. Owen split right on 3rd and 8. Yeah, you and me both, John. I heard that. Garrick Redden with the chance for the interception slipped on the AstroTurf. There's a look at Garrick at about the 25-yard line. Read that one perfectly because he was far closer to the football than anyone in purple and gold, but slipped as he tried to make a cut to react to the ball. And I don't know, I guess you can blame it on those red shoes he's wearing. 4th down for the Panthers, and Natuzel in to punt once again. Freeze went 84 for the touchdown last time. We'll see if Natuzel just wants to bang this one in the end zone. He'll put a high kick up instead. Freeze signals fair catch. The ball bounces and will go out of bounds. Let's see where they'll spot it now.
2-yard line.
They're not even going to walk it up. He's just going to spot it right there at the 3. Eastern will have the football. 9:54 left to play in the game. It's Northern Iowa 17, Eastern Washington 14. There's a look at our scoreboard at the Unidome. The Panthers leading the guests. The Eagles 17-14 here in the 4th quarter. And again, the crowd on its feet shouting encouragement with the Eagles pinned back at their own 3-yard line. Worman trying to find Villa will run out of the end zone, tuck the ball away, take it out to about the 6-yard line before he's wrapped up. Mike Campbell making the stop for Northern Iowa, the defensive right tackle.
Well, that was a gutty play by Rick Worman. I think, again, he checked off the line of scrimmage, looked to his right, wanted to punt, go to the left to Villa down the sidelines, but it was good coverage by the right corner, Moses Amiable.
Worman moves the ball out to the 6-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 7 from there. You can see Rick's flak jacket there as his jersey was pulled up from behind on that last play. Try to throw from the end zone to Niffen. 1st down for the Eagles as Joe Niffen goes out to the 14-yard line. Mark Farley and Bob Storbeck, the inside linebacker duo, combining to make the tackle on Joe Niffen. But it's a 1st down for Eastern as we reach 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Might remind you, for those of you who are not familiar with the format in Division I AA football, there is a provision for a tiebreaker. So if the Eagles can come down and score, they would force an overtime situation. If we get to that, we'll discuss it. Ball at the 14, Townsend the single setback. Jamie Townsend out over the 20-yard line. Good blocking by the right side. Also a fine block by tight end Mark Gehring. Mark Farley on the tackle for Northern Iowa.
Where you got to look at it, it's a counter sweep to Jamie Townsend. He's got the 2 guards. Great Hanna and Jeff Mickle in front of him. He cuts it right up. Good play by the outside linebacker coming across to pursue the play from the backside. That was Bob Sorbeck. Did a good job on that play.
21-yard line is where they'll mark it. 2nd and 4. Underneath to Niffen. He'll be dragged out of bounds by Tim Moses coming up from the left cornerback position, but it'll be another first down for the Eagles. They'll mark the ball over the 29-yard line. John, what's made a difference? Obviously, Rick Warman's hitting his receivers a little better. That's one big key.
Well, I think the defense has been able to stop Northern Iowa better than they did in the first half. In the first half, they did whatever they wanted. They ran the ball. They passed the ball. This way, they've cooled off the offense of Northern Iowa, kept them off the field and have taken away that passing game. Rick Warman's got the hot hand now. It's like a basketball player. He wants to keep throwing it.
He'll hand it off this time to Townsend. Almost broke that one loose up the middle. Some fine trap blocking again by the Eagles. Gehring again from the tight end position along with David Hanna at the quick guard spot. But Townsend was tripped up just over the 32-yard line. Only picked up a couple yards. Nearly broke that one for big yardage.
As I stated earlier, Rick Warman's the type of quarterback that when he gets a hot hand, he is deadly. He's, like I said, a basketball player that wants the ball, wants to keep putting it up. He's that type of quarterback, a streak-type quarterback. When he gets hot, he's awfully tough to defend against.
Richardson split left. Villa flank to the right. 2nd and 7, and the crowd starts to make noise again. Warman again says he cannot hear. He has that option of turning to the referee. And you hear the reaction from the Northern Iowa squad.
You can see on that time, Rick, I think it wasn't as loud as it was before. I was surprised he looked back for quiet, but I think what happened was he thought the 25-second clock was running down. He was running out of time, so I think he pulled a fast one there, although there was some noise in the stands, not as much as there has been.
It's clever. He doesn't have the clock to use, and again, he has to rely on the referee as we take a look at Dick Zorns again. The crowd will start up again, but clever move by Warman. Overthrows Craig Richardson that time. Craig just looking for the ball on a quick slant in. Moses aimable on the coverage that time for UNI.
This is a big 3rd down play for Eastern right now, Todd, to keep the drive alive. They're fairly deep in their territory. A punt, Northern Iowa's going to have pretty good field position, and the clock is running down with 7:08 left. Joe
Niffen and Tracy Poffenroth check in as Floyd and Townsend come out. 3rd and 7 at the 33. UNI will blitz. Under pressure, the grab is made. Flags thrown. Might be offensive interference, as they may rule that Tracy Poffenroth pushed off against UNI's Joe Fuller, and that's what the call will be.
Here we have a look at Tracy Poffenroth, the quick fly. He's putting the ball, he's going. See his left hand just, boy, I don't know about that. I don't think you can call that. It was incidental. The left hand just barely touched. You know, more to gain balance than to push off. I don't know. That's an awfully tough call.
We'll take another look at it as you see the officials marching off the penalty.
Here's Tracy. Get the replay going. He's clean off the line of scrimmage. He just runs up the sidelines. Really, but Levin's pushing off there,
right,
and then he pushed the left hand, and both of them did. Tracy was the last one. Last guy always gets caught.
Second guy, and what's even more important, though, that was a first down nullified by the penalty, but offensive pass interference also carries a loss of down, so it's 4th down, and Warman will have to kick. Good coverage downfield, and Gehring will wrap up Scott Owens and drop him for a tackle inside the Northern Iowa 40-yard line. 6:53 to play in the fourth quarter. Northern Iowa hanging on to a 17-14 lead. Back live in Cedar Falls, Iowa. The Northern Iowa Panthers trying to hang on to the football and run some time off the clock, or put a go-ahead and lock them up score on the board. They'll give the ball to Carl Boyd. He'll be close to first down yardage before Alan Gilmore wraps him up. Take another look at the leading rusher for the Panthers this season.
It's that same sweep play. They pull both guards and both tackles on the offside. He cuts in, cuts up behind the block. Nice seam there. Nice running. Well, he runs hard. He keeps those legs pumping, keeps fighting for yards and yards and yards. Good running back. That was a great effort.
Gain of 9 for Boyd. 2nd and 1 at the 48. He'll pick up the first down and move into Eastern Washington territory, will Carl Boyd. Doug McGill on the stop along with Mike Kingston. Alan Gilmore also in on the play. They'll spot the ball just inside the Eastern 49-yard line. Bentley Williams checking back into the lineup, the right cornerback position. He'll work there along with Garrick Redden, Russ Elliott, and Rob Freeze. Another running play to Boyd. Flag on the play thrown in the Panther backfield, and also one thrown at the line of scrimmage. Quarterback Mike Smith ran over to yell at the referee, but it's called illegal motion against the Panthers. So that'll march Northern Iowa back 5 yards. Mike Smith, the quarterback wearing number 25. We asked a couple of our spotters here why he had that, and they said, well, last year he used to come in and throw halfback passes. He was the backup quarterback then. They'd come in, and with the number he just changed then and decided to just keep it this year, so that's why he's got 25 on his jersey. Dick Zorn's sort of nervously pacing the sidelines, hoping his defense can shut things down quickly here. Get the ball back and give his offense one crack to come down and tie or win the ball game. It's been 2 distinct halves for the Eagles so far. 86 yards of total offense in the first half. 2 touchdowns and great play in the second. Boyd, the ball carrier again, down close to the 45-yard line. Jim Furster on the tackle, along with Pat Godsell and Alan Gilmore. Third down and 6 yards to go now at the 45-yard line. Eagles will bring Kevin O'Connor in as the 5th defensive back. 3-man line. Smith under some pressure now, being pursued, will try to roll out. Godsell near him, throws, caught by Boyd, well short of the first down. In fact, he comes back just to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit that time by Mike Kingston and Pat Godsell.
It's just a straight drop back pass. He's looking to throw it. Either the down receiver's crossing over the middle. He gets flushed right away. Mike Kingston, Stoddenrouse, throws the ball down right at the line of scrimmage. Nice defensive play. You know, when he has pressure, he's not as effective. If they can get the pressure on him, you know, and keep him in the pocket, he's not as effective, but he can pick you apart.
And the Eagles did it that time with just a 3-man rush. Natusul punting from the 45-yard line. Freeze fakes the catch, and this one is going to be saved. They're going to keep it away, but it'll be down out at the 10-yard line. The Eagles will have the option, of course, since the ball was not downed. It was a first touch. They'll, of course, take it at the 10, but still another fine punt by Clay Natusul. 4:17 left. The Eagles with another chance to tie or go ahead. There's your situation. The Eagles 90 yards away from the end zone. Jamie Townsend in the backfield. That's Niffen to the slot in the left side of your screen. John Villa is flanked outside of Niffen. Niffen in motion now. And it's the screen to Townsend, the play that was a big one against Idaho last week. This time Townsend will take it out to the 16-yard line. Wrapped up there by Henry Saxon, the right offensive outside linebacker. Dwayne Price also in on the stop for Northern Iowa's Panthers. Couple more scores for you in the playoffs. In the third quarter now, Georgia Southern leads Middle Tennessee 21-7. And in the second quarter, Arkansas State leading Nevada Reno as the Wolfpack comes off of last week's bye. 7-0 Arkansas State in the second quarter. 2nd and 4 for the Eagles. Worman rolling out. Good block by Niffen, and a flag will be thrown. They're going to call an illegal block or a hold. It looked as though the Eagles had done a pretty good job of pinning that time. The pass was caught by Villa, but the flag will be for a hold. John, I thought Niffen did a nice job of blocking. We'll have to see whether it's the line being called for the hold this time or not.
I think he wrapped his arm around him. He had his arm right there and pinned his arm, grabbed his jersey, and that's holding. And it was rightly called so.
Tough call against the Eagles. A nice block by Joe Niffen to help seal there. You see a fine pass again by Worman, who's been very accurate, but it will all be nullified because of the holding call. Referee Jim Corbin set to step off that penalty yardage. Poffenroth will bring the play in from the sidelines as Craig Richardson checks out. They'll spot the ball all the way back to the 9-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 12 at the 9. 3 minutes, 31 seconds left to play here in the fourth quarter. Worman under pressure. Will have time to throw if anyone's open. Throws into a crowd, nearly intercepted. Pass intended for Eric Riley. Joe Fuller was there to break it up, along with Tim Moses. John, a tough pass and one that the Eagles almost had to pay dearly for.
This is a called pass, a scramble pass, where he tries to scramble, he set the guy up and get outside the defensive end. He's looking downfield. Northern Iowa did a great job of covering the receivers. I think Rick, on second thought, would have been better off just to run that up for a few extra yards, but he threw right in the middle of 3 defenders.
And almost could have had a lot of trouble deep in their own territory. All right, 3rd and 12 for the Eagles at the 9. Poffenroth wide to the right, Villa flank to the left. Twin backs Niffen and Floyd. Villa comes in motion. Looking for Gehring. It's batted away at the last second by Tim Moses from the left cornerback position. That ball traveling in the air a long way, and Moses got there at the last second, John.
Yeah, that was a great play by Moses. Worman was trying to hit the tight end down the middle of the field on a straight pass. Threw a pretty good ball. The ball didn't hang. He threw a shot right on it, but it was great play by Tim Moses to knock that ball away.
Almost everyone went silent as they looked and saw Gehring uncovered for a moment, and then the noise started right back up when Moses made the play. Worman punting out of the end zone, gets off a wobbly kick. Hope for a roll, and he'll get it. Ball bouncing near one Panther who was trying to block downfield. Finally, enough of his teammates told him to get the heck out of the way so it wouldn't touch him. And the Eagles will down it at the 40-yard line with 3:05 left to play in the fourth quarter. Both teams have 3 timeouts left. A reminder once again, you'll be able to see the Army-Navy game immediately following this afternoon's contest between the Eagles and the Panthers. First down for Northern Iowa. Peebles slips through a hole when it looked as though he would be bottled up and gains yardage. Darrell Hunter on the stop for the Eagles. A gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
That time the Eastern was on the max blitz. They brought the free safety from the middle and the defensive ends from the outside. They came in, they had them bottled up, but Peoples kept those legs running, ran it up inside and picked up a couple 3 yards.
The Eagles have to stop a Panther drive right now. There you see the time remaining in the fourth quarter. One first down could just about end the ball game for the Eagles. Peebles will be close to it with second effort, spinning and darting. He'll be about a yard short before Frank Stoutenrouse brings him down. They'll spot the ball at the 49-yard line, a yard short. Clock continues to move now as we head down to the 2-minute mark. Eagles will change the secondary, just 3 backs as they get in a short distance situation. Boyd, first down. They'll stop the clock to reset the chains and then start it up again. That brings the Northern Iowa fans to their feet. John, it's truly been a second half of ifs for the Eagles. A lot of ifs in some crucial situations. A couple of turnovers, a couple of penalties, and maybe dreams of what might have been. And there's a man shaken up on the field, and they say that the Eagles have taken a timeout and have been charged with one when the clock was stopped for the first down. So apparently Dick Zorn's feeling he right now needed to give his defense a rest and try to get them a few extra seconds to recover. Peebles now 25 carries, 125 yards. Boyd with 22 carries for 82 yards. Dick Zorns on the eastern sideline. John, I suppose if anything, Dick would be really frustrated about having the team come back and coming so close. That just hurts even more than if you were really blown out of a ball game.
No question about that.
Boyd looking to spend more time than to gain yardage. Timeout will be called once again by the Eagles. Frank Stoutenrouse on the stop along with Darrell Hunter. Eagles will have 1 timeout left. 1:46 left to play in the 4th quarter. So should Eastern take a timeout following the next play and then hold Northern Iowa, the Panthers will still have the chance to take the clock down to about the 1:10, 1:15 mark with a punt. And again, with the foot of Natusul and the punt coverage team, there's a strong possibility they might be able to bottle Eastern deep. The Eagles haven't had one really roll into the end zone for them all day, and if they ever needed one, should Northern Iowa get to a punt situation, this would certainly be the time. Seidel and Gilmore both coming into the lineup now for the Eagles. Now Seidel will check out of the lineup, trot back over to the sideline. Eagles trying to hang on, keep that last bit of hope alive. 2nd and 8 for Northern Iowa. 3 men into the pattern, split backs, and they'll try to throw. It'll be short of the first down as Darrell Hunter comes up with the stop on Scott Frankie. And to the benefit of the Eagles, Frankie went out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, I think he kind of got up and shook his head after catching that. I think he knew that he shouldn't have went out of bounds. He maybe should have cut it up inside so the clock wouldn't stop.
Or picked up the first down.
Or picked up the first down.
3rd down and a yard to go. Eagles need to come up with a big play here and then spend their last timeout. Man jumped. It'll be a illegal procedure. The right side of the Northern Iowa line jumping. Five yards marked off make a big difference now, and the Eagles will change defensively in accord with that, as it'll be 3rd and 6 now. There we take a look at the line, and we'll watch the right guard right there jumping offside. I believe that's Mark Caballero who will be called for the illegal procedure. 1:40 left in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 6 for the Panthers. Try the same pattern, and it's behind the intended receiver, Scott Frankie. Tried to go to the same spot again with Daryl Hunter in coverage. Just a little quick out, tried to get him one-on-one and pick up first down yardage. They're unable to do so. The ball's at the 45, giving Natusul more room for punting as well, John.
He's a great punter. He's put the last 2 punts inside the 20-yard line. Last 3, in fact.
Rob Freese back deep, has an 84-yard punt return touchdown. Eagles with 10 men on the line. Natusul kicking it into the short sideline and will get it down deep again. Unbelievable. He has played this field as if he were a golfer reading greens today, and the Panthers down another punt inside the 5-yard line. An outstanding job by the Northern Iowa punt coverage team today, and by punter Clay Natusul. Russ Ruby, a backup tackle, downing that punt for the Panthers. So the Eagles now, you see Rob Freese talking with Dick Zorns. He pinned him into the near sideline and put the ball in a perfect spot. It's at the 3, 1:29 left. The Eagles have 1 timeout remaining. Niffin, the single setback. Pass will be caught by Craig Richardson. Went down to one knee, and you heard the groan from the Northern Iowa fans. They almost thought they had an interception there.
Yeah, Eastern's got to go in the hurry-up offense now to conserve the timeouts. Try to get the ball out of bounds, or for the first down to stop the clock when they move the chains.
Gain of 5 to the 8. Warman has Floyd open. A great catch by Tim Floyd. The ball will be marked at the 32-yard line. 24 yards, make it 25 to Tim Floyd to the 33-yard line. Let's take a look at a fine catch. No time. They'll go without the huddle, reset the chains. We'll keep going as well. The clock running even before they got the chains set. First down, Eastern at the 33. Warman complete and out of bounds to tight end Eric Riley. Mark Farley covering on the play, and Riley kind of entangled there in the chains in the down marker. Got out of bounds. It'll be second down in inches, just short of the first down. Ball at the 42.
Reminiscent of last week, Todd, with a minute 12 seconds left, they went 90 yards for the touchdown to win it down in Idaho, and try to do it again this week.
Can they run the same script? Looking to Townsend, the screenplay, the play that's gotten a lot, doesn't get much. Townsend tackled 5 yards out of bounds, and Dick Zorns, as I rated over on the far sideline, Jimmy Townsend running up well on bounds to take another look at it.
You see a ground level Rick coming off. Going to toss the ball in a screenplay to the left to Jamie Townsend. Jamie takes the ball, runs upfield, gets as far as he can, gets a first down, runs out of bounds to stop the clock. Then you can see the...
Watch where he gets wrapped up.
He gets wrapped up.
There you see Dick Zorn's reaction. He was tackled a good 5 yards out of bounds.
That was a call. That was a call that could have went Eastern's way.
First and 10 at the 47. Warman will be sacked for a loss of 3 yards. Now Northern Iowa's busy celebrating. They won't let Warman up. Timeout. Is it a charge? It's not. It is charged. We'll take a look at it. And Warman being sacked. Edward Grimes on the play for the Panthers, and the Eagles have taken their final timeout, John.
Yeah, Rick Warman, he's back for the pass here. He's looking downfield. He feels the pressure, tries to run up. Mark Grimes get the tackle. He's leading them in sacks this year with 9 sacks this year. Eastern had to call the timeout. 36 seconds left, 2nd and 13.
So the Eagles without a timeout to go the rest of the way. We'll remind you, a field goal ties this game and sends it into an overtime, not a sudden death overtime, but closer to a Kansas tiebreaker situation. We'll explain that in detail, but keep this in the back of your minds. Kicker Eric Stein, shaken up, suffering a concussion on the opening kickoff, has not been in action since, which means that Rob James, who kicked during his high school days at University High School in Spokane, would likely be called upon should the Eagles get the ball in field goal position. All right, the Eagles out of timeouts now with 36 seconds showing on the clock. Niffen and Floyd both in the backfield. Now Niffen will go into the slot position. Three-man rush by the Panthers. Warman has time, throws into crowd. Is it caught? No, out of bounds on the near sideline. A great grab by John Villa, but unable to come down. We, of course, cannot see his feet from up here because of all the fans standing there in the northern Iowa side, so we can't even tell you if it were close. There was very little argument at all. And again, Rick Warman threw into a big crowd, John.
He did. He was with that scramble pass again where they set back and they scrambled to the right, trying to get the receivers deep. One shallow across, one deep across, try to get that flood that zone on the outside, and therefore threw it out of bounds.
You see the Eagles need to get that yardage for a first down and at least another 25 for a chance at a field goal. Warman has time all alone. Jamie Townsend, and the ball's out of bounds. Oh my.
It looked like the ball slipped out of Rick's hands on that play. Jamie Townsend, all he had to do was throw it on the line. There was nobody within 15 yards of him.
Moses Amable was the nearest man to him. Had the ball been near Townsend, Amable would have been making a game-saving tackle at best. Jamie Townsend was wide open down the sideline. You see Poffenroth come in with the play. This is it. They need 13 yards for a first down. 4th and 13. Never mind the time, there's only 21 seconds. They have to get a first down still. Warman under pressure will be sacked. That'll be the ball game. Edward Grimes coming around from his right end position has made his second sack and has wrapped up the game for the Panthers.
Let's see Rick Warman back. They're coming with a three-man rush, and they get pressure on him right away coming from the right end position. Gets Rick Warman down from behind. That'll be Rick's last play as an Eastern Eagle.
16 seconds left. All the Panthers have to do is fall down once. They're trying to get the Panther players back off the field. Also busy out running around trying to pick up all the toilet paper and confetti that's been thrown. It's of course, discount generic streamer variety. So this will be it. It'll be Mike Smith taking one snap, falling down, and the Panthers will be back in action again next week. Delay a game penalty against Northern Iowa as the officials had marked the ball and the Panthers were not ready to come to the line of scrimmage. It matters nothing. So Northern Iowa will host either Georgia Southern or Middle Tennessee next week. While for the Eastern Eagles, the season comes to an end at 9-3 and just short of moving into the Division I AA semifinals. A magnificent second half effort, but it's not enough as the UNI Panthers beat the Eastern Washington Eagles by a score of 17-14. Dick Zorn's out trying to talk to his players as well as congratulate the Northern Iowa staff. We'll be back to wrap up this afternoon's ball game in just 1 minute. The Panthers of Northern Iowa have moved into the Division I AA semifinals, building a 17-0 lead, hanging on to beat Eastern Washington 17-14. Right now, we'd like to thank some of the people involved with today's Division I AA quarterfinal championship.
Fruit Show. Indulge in some country fair fun with over 150 fruit varieties, dozens of educational programs, and contests for the kids. WSU's All About Fruit Show, November 2nd and 3rd at the Tacoma Dome.
Halloween doesn't have to be spooky. Not with Easter Seal Safe Halloween coupons, the safe treat that gives treatment. Safe Halloween coupons are good for treats at stores and restaurants. Give them to trick-or-treaters or treat yourself. Give Easter Seal Safe Halloween coupons because Halloween should be warm and friendly.
You'll find Safe Halloween coupon books at these sponsoring locations.
Hello, I'm Rick Tudor, Artistic Director of Tacoma Actors Guild, Tacoma's resident professional theater. Opening TAG's 7th season in October, we have a clever double bill, Dog's Hamlet and The Real Inspector Hound by Tom Stoppard. Don't miss this two-dog night. An hilarious abbreviated Hamlet and a witty theatrical hound. Call TAG right now. Great seats are still available. I hope to see you at our theater.
This just in now, we hear that suspects in a possible murder kidnapping have been arrested in the University District. That's what we hear. Seattle Police, however, will not answer our questions, but Como News contacted a tow truck company involved in the situation. They say their truck was called to 41st and Brooklyn in the U District to tow away a car with Arizona plates. They were told the arrests were made for kidnapping. The Seattle homicide detectives are on the case, and a spokesman has been called into the situation tonight to make a statement. And, of course, we'll keep you updated.
King County's future is at stake. Well, at least the future of the King County Council is on November 5th. 5 of the 9 council seats will be on the ballot. And to help you decide your 85 vote, we're profiling the candidates. Tonight, District number 3 in eastern King County. It's Bill Reams against Chuck Cosby. Como's Brian Johnson says this is one race with some rather obvious differences.
Bill Reams, the incumbent, is a Republican. He's 52. A lifelong King County resident, he's been on the council since it was formed in 1969.
And I do a lot of listening on the land use issues. And I think people tell me that they don't mind a commute if they can maintain the integrity of their local area.
His challenger is Chuck Cosby. He's in his 30s, a computer programmer. He's a Democrat, but not the usual type.
As a maverick Democrat.
What does that mean?
That means someone who's willing to go out and take risks, get things done, has visions of the future, a future that involves using technology to improve the condition of humanity.
Cosby is a LaRouche Democrat. Like other members of his party who wore masks on primary election night, he believes there's one big problem.
Right now, unfortunately, it would have to be calling a public health crisis against the AIDS virus and mobilizing the public health facilities of the county to put a stop to it.
Reams identifies cars, not AIDS, as the county's biggest problem.
The problem with traffic on the east side now is really getting high on people's priority list. And we must settle the issue of how do you get from where you live to where you work, from where you live to where you get your services. And those roads must be in place before it's too late and the corridors are gone.
You find sharp differences between the candidates when you ask, what do people want?
They want safe streets. They want the ability to have pretty good police protection and services, but they are not asking for urban city services in most cases. They're willing to make that trade-off.
Of course, the AIDS public crisis, but hopefully we can get past that and get on to the really fun things, which is building up the county for the future. Nuclear power plants, fusion reactors, plasma steel making furnaces, hydrogen-powered cars, bringing these types of businesses into the county and really mobilizing the workforce of this county, which is a high-technology aerospace workforce for the 21st century.
A recent survey showed only 5% of the people know who their county councilman is. I don't know how many care, but the county council could determine where people live, what our human services are, and even what our tax rate is. That should be enough to care about. For Election Face-Off, the 85 vote, I'm Brian Johnson, Como News.
And tomorrow night, Como News will preview 3 more King County Council races as we near the 85 vote.
It's true. Kirkland's Moss Bay Days may be gone for good, and in its place, the Kirkland Family Arts Festival, perhaps a more tame event. In past years, crowds at Moss Bay Days have simply gotten out of hand. Last July, you'll recall, about 200 teenagers took to the streets. This videotape was shot by a Kirkland resident the final night of the celebration. The kids just refused to go home. Police ended the disturbance by arresting more than 100 of them. Well, Kirkland wants this to stop from happening again, and a plan before the city council would rename the festival, sort of mellow it out, and move it to a different weekend. Let's hope that does the trick. Who knows?
The weather may put a damper on anything like that around here nowadays, Steve.
Well, I'll tell you, if you do it the way it's been recently and the way it's going to be the next couple of days, you're probably right, Kathy. We'll talk about what it's going to do tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, still some more rain on the way. I'll tell you about that, and we'll update you on the Streetwise campaign for all you high schoolers when we come back.
My husband hit me. He said it was all my fault. I felt ashamed and scared.
I needed someone to talk to. I mean, I didn't know what I wanted. Would I have to leave my home or change my life? I just wanted the hitting to stop. I knew I needed help.
Finally, I called the hotline, and help is what I got.
Domestic violence hurts everyone. Call this number for help.
Jack Roberts will do anything to get your attention to come shop at his 2 appliance stores in Linwood on Highway 99 and at 77th and Aurora in Seattle. Jack, you're insane. I knew it.
Jack Roberts takes the licking and keeps on ticking with the lowest prices around on RCA TVs and video. Shop around, bring your bank cards, take our easy credit terms or 90 days, same as cash.
I can't believe you did that.
Jack Roberts smashes the competition. I won't be undersold.
I want an instant replay.
I won't be undersold.
Well, howdy again. I'm Cal Worthington, Worthington Ford Federal Way. Hey, if you're looking for a good used car or a good used truck, you ought to come to Worthington Ford Federal Way. And if you need help on the financing, you should come to Worthington Ford Federal Way. We carry a lot of our own paper, and boy, if we can't sell you a car, nobody can. Let me show you something. Here's a 1980 Ford LTD for $29.95, just $76 a month. Here's an 83 Chevy Chevette, $29.95, just $59 a month. Here's an 82 Granada, Ford Granada wagon, $31.95, just $65 a month. And here's a 78 Pontiac Grand Prix, $19.95, just $66 a month. We got a gang of cars, row after row after row of cars and trucks on special sale. Now, friends, you get a free 10-day trolley exchange on any used car. Pick any used car, any used truck. Drive it 10 days. Let your own mechanic check it and make sure you like it. We want to be sure. We want to be absolutely sure that you're satisfied with the car or the truck you buy. Hey, come in and see us where your friends are, where the bargains are. Worthington Ford, Federal Way. I'll see you here.
Well, we've already given you the big news in weather, and that's all the rain and the flooding, Steve.
It really is, and it continues to be. When you think about this month, October is the first month since June that we've actually been ahead of our normal rainfall for a monthly period, and that's only happened twice this year. Still a wet year, though. We're still 10 inches below normal for the year, but October is trying to make it up in the worst way, and it's actually being pretty successful at it. Take a look at a rainy street in Seattle and give you our current temperature of 53 degrees, humidity 51%, winds from the south at 14, barometer 29.84, and it's been falling. We had a high today of 57 degrees after a low last night of 48. Over 3/4 of an inch of rain in the last 24 hours, and our record was back in 1965 when we had 72 degrees. Nowhere near that around here anyway. Okay, around the rest of the state, you can see our temperatures pretty much in the 50s, and we're getting some rain. We're getting it here in Seattle, we're getting it in Bellingham, also Olympia, Portland, and Hoquiam. Pretty much everywhere in western Washington is raining, and here's why. The flow coming right over us like this, the pattern of the jet stream pretty much locked up in this, headed right towards us. Now behind that there is a little bit of partial clearing, but still going to be pretty cloudy. And then after that there is another system working its way up right in here, a lot of showers associated with that, so that for Friday we'll continue to be mostly cloudy, get a few scattered showers, and then by Friday night we get right on into this, and our weekend looks like it's going to continue to be wet and possibly very windy, particularly on Saturdays. We're going to keep an eye on that too. Our rivers will be again under the onslaught when we get to the weekend here. Around the rest of the country, our high temperatures look like this. If you're down in the south, you're going to be cooking 83 in Miami, 88 in Dallas, and 92 in Phoenix. In the northern tier, we've got Minneapolis up there at 66 degrees. We're going to have the fronts shaping up like this. Cold front coming in on us a little bit. We'll still have some scattered showers about, getting heavier as the day goes on. We've got scattered and isolated thunder showers down there in the southeast. Around our state, the winds will be very brisk on the waters, you boaters. Small craft advisories up everywhere. Freezing level 5,000 feet, or snow level 5,000 feet, so we get some snow in the mountains in addition to our rain, which will be increasing as we go through the day tomorrow. Rainy periods tonight, low of 52. Tomorrow we're going to have mostly cloudy conditions with showers, high of 57 degrees, 50% chance on those showers. Saturday, rainy and windy, 56. Sunday we get some showers, about 54, and then Monday showers and sunbreaks, so you can see it's going to continue to be kind of wet. Maybe you've been keeping an eye on our Operation Streetwise campaign, which is going very well. High schools all over the area buying T-shirts to emphasize the importance of not drinking and driving. Let's give you an update on how things are going. In the AAA division, Redmond has a 1-point lead over Cascade High School. It's that close. Hoquiam in the AA is ahead of Montlake Terrace, but not by very much. In the A standings, Rochester has a big lead over Toledo, and in the B, it's Bush School over Seattle Lutheran, a lot of other schools following those up. We're going to continue to monitor the contest right on through till Tuesday. Again, these high schools are just doing a fabulous job. You know, Jeff and Kathy, we are selling 1,000 T-shirts a day to remind kids, don't drink and drive, and they are excited about it. We are too. It's really going well.
Very good. Good work.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Well, it sounds as if the weather, according to Steve, this weekend will provide a good incentive for you to stay inside and catch up on your movie watching. And there's a lot to choose from, as evidenced from this week's new releases.
Okay, you monster mavens, brace yourself. Godzilla is back. That's right, the kingpin of creatures is once again wreaking havoc on Tokyo, singeing the populace with his nuclear breath and wiping out buildings with a single swish of his mammoth tail. What a guy! Also from Asia this week, Ah Ying. It's not a documentary, but it is based on true characters and situations. The director, Alan Fong, was trained in an American journalism school. Visiting Seattle recently, Fong told me this background has prepared him for working with non-professional actors.
People say that all my films has looked like documentary, so I feel comfortable using non-professional.
Ah Ying is a 22-year-old native of Hong Kong. Although she works in her parents' fish market, she dreams of something better, acting, for example. She's not a star by the end of the film, but she does find something better, self-confidence. Already playing in the Seattle area is Remo Williams. Fred Ward plays the title character who is pressed into surface by a secret government agency. He's given a new name, a new face, and a new credo.
You're going to be the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not get away with it.
Feminine relief in this mostly male movie is provided by Kate Mulgrew. She plays a spit-and-polish Army major. Kate was in Seattle this week to see old friends at the Seattle Repertory Theater and to talk about Remo, which she heartily endorses.
It's a good picture. It's inoffensive. There's no violence. There's no nudity. It's not even a smooch.
Kate Mulgrew is a versatile and accomplished actress. You may have seen her in ABC's miniseries The Manions of America or NBC's Mrs. Columbo. Her favorite role is being a mother to her 2 sons, and she often feels frustrated when she tries to juggle her career and her family.
Clearly, that's what I'm trying to do, and it's an impossibility. I just don't think you can do it. And I think if you've got beautiful children who are teaching you about love, you've got it made.
You could argue with that. She's a neat person. I like that.
Well, Bruce King is next to sports. He sat here earlier today and said the Cards are going to clean it up tonight. It's going to be all over.
It'll be all over. I was wrong, wasn't I? We'll tell you about what happens tonight. Also in sports, we'll have high school, cross country, and football for you. And the Royals, as we mentioned, still alive in the World Series.
Every kid deserves a home and a family, but some, like Stevie, are on their own from the start. If it weren't for United Way and Medina Children's Service, Stevie wouldn't have the family he has today. We'll never know what might have happened to Stevie, only what did happen. When you support United Way, Stevie and kids just like him can find out there's no place like home.
Where would I be without you?
the mountains out, the water sparkling. There's a magic feeling here you just can't hide. Gonna find the action, let the good times roll, 'cause we were born to ride. All together we'll discover all the loving, all the laughter, from the Cascades to the islands. The stars are shining all the time. We'll keep you coming back for more on Channel 4. We love it. Come on, explore. We love it. Good looking. You'll love it. We're talking on Channel 4.
You'll love it.
We'll give you more. You'll love it on Channel 4. You'll love it.
Catch Husky football Sundays at 4 on Como. Brought to you by Seafirst Bank. Expect excellence at Seafirst.
Don't go in here like this, yeah.
I don't know, Bruce. They did it in the playoffs.
Oh, can they come back and do it again? I don't know. Kansas City defeated St. Louis 6-1 tonight to stay alive in the World Series. You watch. And
with the score tied 1-1 in the second, Biancalana singles to right for Kansas City. Sundberg tries to score on the play, and Tom Nito just misses the tag on a controversial call at the plate. 2-0 Kansas City. After Lonnie Smith walks, Willie Wilson hits this shot to right center to drive in 2 runs. And all at once, the Royals have a commanding 4-1 lead. In the 6th, the Royals almost lose their all-star third baseman, George Brett. He follows a Terry Pendleton pop-up all the way to the dugout and then goes flying in on his teammates as the ball drops off his glove.
Well, that's the way I play. I was surprised I slid that far. When Lee May tried to catch me, poked me in the eye, and I got a little blurry after a while, and that's why it took me out of the ball game. But, you know, you do it, I do it, a lot of players do it, and especially in a World Series when you're a dog like we are and this game is so important to us, you put every effort you got into it. And even though I didn't catch the ball, it got everybody pumped up, I think.
The Royals add 2 more runs to give left-hander Danny Jackson a real cushion. Jackson, who gives up just 5 hits and shuts out the Cardinals through the last 8 innings, gets Tom Nito to ground out to end the ball game as Kansas City wins it 6-1 to stay alive in the series.
I think I concentrate a little bit more when the pressure's on us and we've got our backs to the wall. I try to concentrate a lot harder and get the pitches where I want to.
We knew what we had to do, and it seems like every day our backs up against the wall, the better we play.
so the series now moves back to Kansas City. Royals win 2 of 3 in St. Louis. Game 6 set for Saturday night, and you can see it right here on Channel 4. Big day today at Lower Woodland despite the rainy weather because the Metro League Cross Country Championships are on the line for both boys and girls in AAA competition.
The whole field was chasing defending champion Bridget Sterling from Roosevelt, with Garfield and Blanchette expected to battle it out for the team title. And when they turned for home, it was all Bridget Sterling of Roosevelt. Although Bridget won the individual title, Franklin won the team championship with Blanchette second. In the boys' competition, it was all Blanchette, with Garfield and Ballard trying to catch them. But no one could catch Hafferty of Blanchette as he won the individual title. His teammates finished 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th to take the team title for the 3rd straight year. Garfield finished 2nd.
Turning to basketball, NBA season opens tomorrow night. One major move today. San Antonio Spurs sent George Gervin to Chicago for David Greenwood. High school football, Metro League game between Chief Sealth and the Blue and Seattle Prep tonight, Memorial Stadium. Not a lot of scoring. Sealth did manage to get on the scoreboard. Running back Ken Thompson broke loose for this touchdown run. Only score of the game. Seahawks beat the Panthers 6-0 in a football game. And we're out of time. That's sports.
All right. Thank you, Bruce.
You're welcome.
Finally tonight, they've let dogs, chimps, teachers, and politicians go up in space. Well, now it looks like we journalists are finally going to get a chance. NASA announced today it'll pick a reporter to go up in the space shuttle next year. And Como's Mike Nesteroff is getting set to put his bid in.
I can picture myself now rubbing elbows with the rest of the shuttle crew, knowing we've all got the right stuff. And then they light the big candle.
We have main engine start, 3, 2, 1. Solid motor ignition and liftoff. The shuttle has cleared the tower. Roger, roll.
Imagine the thrill of flying in the space shuttle. It could be the story of a lifetime, but only one reporter gets to go. Of course, to be the first journalist in space, I'll have to show NASA that I'm all prepared. So tonight, I went out and got my special space shuttle helmet. Of course, I understand I'll have some competition.
I'd kind of like to go. I'd love to go. I can't imagine a more exciting assignment. Can you imagine that? Take a golf club, a baseball bat, and a football up there and just have a great time.
I would think they would go out of their way to choose a Texan living in Seattle to be their choice as an astronaut.
Of course, there are a few who don't have the right stuff.
Not hardly. They can't stand the glare from my head is the problem.
I get sick on the Ferris wheel at the county fair. If you think they want to take me, I think they better pick somebody else.
But while the rest of them are fighting among themselves, some of us are out building a groundswell of support. Who's your nominee for the first journalist to go up?
How about you? Do you want to go up? Oh, sure, why not? Okay, I got my vote. Howard Cosell would be a natural.
So 2 out of 3 aren't bad, and just take a look at some of the fun stuff I might get to do if I get to go up. But I just hope they have a spacesuit and an extra long. I'm like Mr. Como News, just looking for space.
That was wonderful.
Practicing up.
He's already on the telephone. We do have a number, you know. I have it.
Oh, good. I want to find out after the newscast is over.
That's the Nightcast. Thanks for watching. Excuse me.
Taking a little cough, and Nightline is coming up next. Tonight's focus, President Reagan's speech at the United Nations. Thanks for being with us tonight, and have a very good evening.
Good night. We're going to get on the telephone now.
Again, Cal Worthington, Worthington Ford Federal Way. Hey, there's a new and a better way to finance a new Ford car or truck. It's called lease purchase financing. Now, you don't tie up a lot of your money in the down payment, and you really get low, I mean low monthly payments, and there may be some income tax benefits also. By the way, if you have a car or truck to trade, bring the car over. We'll just buy it, pay you cash, take that money, put the money in the bank, and start drawing interest on that money. Again, why tie up your money? You want low payments? Have a look at this. Our brand new 86 Ford Escort, just $88 a month. Our brand new 86 Ford Mustang, $106 a month. Our brand new 86 Ford Thunderbird, $162 a month. Our brand new 86 Ford, a half-ton pickup, $118 a month. Lease purchase financing. Why tie up your money? You want low payments? Come and see us. By the way, there may be some income tax benefits. Come over and find out about it. Worthington Ford in Federal Way. Come and see us. We're open every day till midnight. Worthington Ford, Federal Way, open till midnight every day. See you here.
This is KOMO Television, Fisher Broadcasting Incorporated, with studios at 4th North and Denny Way in Seattle, Washington. ABC for Seattle and Western Washington. We trust we have fulfilled our purpose of making your day brighter and happier. We now conclude our normal broadcast day.